What's up, everybody? Welcome to PSI Love You XOXO Volume 2, Episode 4. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the OK Beast, Blessing and Jr.
What's up, Greg?
We're gonna open some champagne.
Oh, some more.
Yeah. That you saw me start to open it before in the pre-show there, and you were
Yes.
like, "Wait a second, we have a new one." Of course, we have a new one, Blessing.
Wow.
Do you understand what kind of day today is?
I mean, it's a very crazy day we're having.
Is it crazy
It's
or
a
is it
crazy day.
historic?
It's a historic day
You know what I
for
mean?
sure. Yeah, it's a day to celebrate for sure.
It
oh
sure
my God.
is, of course. And you can't have just one bottle of champagne when Patapon 2 Remastered officially has a release date, everybody. If you didn't watch Games Daily and you've been living under a rock, everybody, after 782 days since we last saw it, Patapon 2 PS4 arrives Thursday, January 30th. Patapon 4 Remastered is what it's called now. It'll cost you $15, $14.99, as I've pointed out, $5 cheaper than when I reviewed it on PSP back in the day.
Wow.
So this is the cheapest you've ever had it.
And it's the highest res it's been.
The highest res, 4K. All 4 of the Ks are here. You know what I mean? Maybe when we get to PS5, we'll have 8Ks, but until then, who knows? Give me cheers there. Cheers to Patapon and your health. Mission accomplished. You know what I want to do, of course. Well, first off, first impressions up right now. YouTube.com/kindafunnygames. Gamescast podcast feed. You can go there. You can watch me play. Blessing asked me questions for the first 30 minutes. And we had an exclusive on this, everybody. I know it's hard to believe that Greg Miller and Patapon so synonymous that PlayStation gave me the exclusive on it.
Wow.
Exclusive on. I know, it's totally wild. Blessing asked me questions. I ignore him because you can't play Patapon and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Rhythm games, very hard to talk and play with.
And I realized while I was watching gameplay, I was like, I have no idea what's going on in this game.
Yeah?
It's just, because it's a rhythm game, but it's also like it's a very peculiar, unique, like, you have like 2D, like eyeball looking creatures.
Richard the Bat writes into patreon.com/kindafunnygames and says, "What the fuck is a Patapon? And why do we need 2 of them?" Seriously, I've never played the first one. I'm thinking about picking up the second one because of how you scream about it. But please explain what the fuck it is. Thanks. I appreciate all you do. Blessing, continue. Explain Patapon.
So like, looking at it like on face value, right? I look at Patapon and I see like 2 seconds of gameplay, and I'm like, oh, it's a rhythm game. You like press the buttons to the beat. I get this game, right? And during the first impressions, the 30 minutes long first impressions, 20 minutes in, I was like, I have no idea what this game is.
Yeah.
Because you pointed out like some progression stuff going on in terms of like, you're unlocking stuff, you're building up your Patapon army, you're unlocking different types of troops and all this stuff. And I was like, I didn't know there were troops in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that like you control the pets and the pawns and like all the rhythm stuff going on.
Yeah.
So you tell me, like, somebody who knows nothing, what is Patapon?
I mean, Patapon, is a PSP franchise. 3 installments were made. Obviously, Patapon PS4 Remastered is already out. Now we have Patapon 2 coming out this week. The idea here, is that for the base, and this changes a bit for 3, but for the basics, right, and the ones that matter in Patapon 2, you are the god to this Patapon tribe. These eyeball creatures walking around doing stuff. And without you, they are completely lost. So you have to tell them where to march, to fight, to retreat from battle, to run into battle, to power up, do all these different things. And the way you communicate is through drums. And so each one of the face buttons is a different drum. And using those face buttons, you come up with 4-beat combinations that, in fact, tell them what to do.
Gotcha.
And so you saw us, basically, from the beginning of the game, we had the walk command, we had the attack command.
Gotcha. And which one is walk? Which one is square walk, circle?
It's patapon to walk.
Gotcha.
And then pawn, pawn to fight.
Okay. So you're comboing like button inputs.
Correct.
For like one
you
command.
mix and match to make recipes, basically.
Gotcha.
Then make them go fight. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so as you saw, it's on. It's on a. I don't know. It's on a beat for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a rhythm.
Fourths, is that what you call it, Kevin?
Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah.
And so you give your 4 buttons
square,
on beat.
Square, circle.
And
that's
then they
command.
respond. So if you went pata, pawn, they would go pata, pawn while they moved.
Gotcha.
And so then after their 4, you jump back in with your 4, and you keep it going. And so like, you get fever like I was showing you, which is your combo meter, right? That you've done all the perfect combinations, you're hitting it right on beat, everything's great. And then as you continue to be perfect, that keeps increasing. You do more damage in your attacks, you move farther with your attack, with your walk commands, whatever. You soup every one of the inputs you put in.
Gotcha.
But if you fuck it up, it falls apart.
Yeah, this game's way more complicated than I give it credit for.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then like I'm telling you, like that's just the moment-to-moment gameplay. Outside of that is the overarching world and RPG that's on top of it of
Yeah.
building out, like, for me, I have specific, you have different classes. You don't take them all into battle. Like, you select what platoon of troops you want to take, and so like maybe you want archers, maybe you want spear guys, maybe you want the up close and personal attackers with their axes and stuff, and everybody has pros and cons, and then you have to mix and match to find the suit you want for general stuff, and then also for it's mainly not even for what you want as much as the situation calls for.
Okay.
So like it'll be that when you're hunting, you don't want guys who are going to run up there and use axes and swords because they have to get on top of the animal. So as they get closer, the animal gets alerted that they're there and it runs away. You want ranged dudes that are throwing stuff in from afar. The animal never sees it. It hits him. You kill him. You get your meat or resource that you come back to make new weapons, make new armor, level people up, increase the evolution tree.
Yeah, and this is the type of game that you could play for. You were talking about like 100 hours, right?
100%.
There's like stuff that you can upgrade over time and stuff that you can chip away at.
And there's all sorts of like it's funny when we got Patapon remastered, and I became the first person in the world to platinum it. No big deal. Check PSN profiles, everybody. Having guides and going off of them, right? And being able to look up stuff specifically to get those trophies. That was stuff I didn't even do, but I never even did in my original Patapon playthrough. Like, you know what I mean? I went through and played a very specific way and enjoyed it, but since there was nothing making me go outside my comfort zone, I played a very specific way. And so learning things even then, about how things are and how rare spawns work and what you have to do in this to get this to spawn at the end that you need to get this certain crazy thing.
So I asked you during the stream if you're going to get the platinum in this game. Now, is it confirmed there is a platinum for Remastered
of course.
too? Okay.
First thing I checked once I got it installed. Are you kidding me?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And you're going for it.
100%.
You're going to be the first.
You saw
to do
me.
it.
Well, I don't know.
Your plan.
That's the problem.
That's your goal.
I don't know. Well, because you see, now that I've said anything about it, the target's on my back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to be able to just, blend in with the crowd with this Patapon business. Who knows? Also, it turns out not as many people care about Patapon as me. But the thing, of course, is that I have this head start, right? First off, I don't even know if review codes are out to everybody, right? But if they are, nobody cares. You know what I mean? Everybody's out there thinking that they're better than it. I see these people at IGN and GameSpot not reviewing the first Patapon remastered. I just got to worry about Thursday when the game gets out to everybody else.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is we have a life. We have a work to do here. I don't know how much I want to get to play at home. Start grinding. I'm gonna try. I have all intents and
believe in
purposes.
you.
I'm
I think
definitely
you could
getting
do it.
the platinum.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
100%.
Well, you know what? What are we even talking about?
Because here's the thing. Like, you can play. I'm willing to take on the Greg Miller responsibilities. I'm willing to be Greg Miller for a week.
Oh, wow, yeah,
so that
yeah.
you have the time to platinum this game.
Wow, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
You know
anything,
what I mean?
anything, so I can boss around Tim and Nick.
Sure, of course, yeah, of course, and they need it, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm looking at the trophies right now. You can go to they're up. You can check out my PSN profile. I'm sure they're up on everywhere else then too, though. Obviously they would be. They'd be on XOXO. I digress. Perform the miracles. That's fine. Complete level 3 of the mini games. Those are tough, but I did it in Patapon 1, so that's not gonna be impossible. You know what I mean? Yeah, perform. I mean, the one you saw me get that silver with, perform 15 consecutive songs while in fever mode. That's 15 consecutive songs in fever mode, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm being interviewed on a live stream about the game. All right? So let's not look bad. Raise a rare pawn to level 10. That's going to take some time. Defeat a level 5 boss without losing any troops. Also difficult.
All right.
But again, it's more the idea of like how powerful my team is when it gets there. There's a lot here, though. More diverse than last time, it looks like, too. So there's a lot to, do.
Attainable, though.
Attainable, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take time. It's going to take some work. But I'll put in the time and I'll put in the work. Don't worry
For
about it.
a base playthrough, if I didn't want it to be a completionist, how long does it take to beat Patapon? Or do you even beat Patapon?
Yeah, you beat Patapon. There's a
Okay.
story to it and you beat it. Like I said, I've noticed today in the blog post them talking about it, saying there's more than 30 levels, being very clear about that. And then in my PSP review from IGN we were reading earlier today, I was saying that it took me 40 hours, right? But in the review I admit that I went and grinded a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So like, I mean, I'm talking about a game from 2009 that I haven't played a playthrough of since then. But I would think that somewhere probably, I must have been being obsessive about it to do 40 the way I did it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because I'm considering it. I'd be down to try it out.
Yeah.
I want to play it. Cause
You should definitely try it.
Especially
You have
after
the
now understanding like what you're doing. Because
Sure.
watching the gameplay, I was like, I want to think I understand what's going on, but the more I watch it, the more I just don't get what's happening.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
now I know it's like, oh yeah, each combination is a command.
Yeah.
That makes way more sense to what I was watching.
Oh,
It
ladies and
seems really
gentlemen,
cool.
It is really cool. Patapon 2 Remastered. Very cool. Out Thursday, January 30th. Pick it up. I want to thank everyone out there for putting up with me for years talking about Patapon and then being so supportive. It's been amazing today as the news broke and the tweet and the blog and the articles on different sites. Having people nonstop all day at me and include me and then put me in the comments of these articles and different sites that probably don't want to talk about Greg Miller. That's amazing. But of course, there's a whole laundry list of people to thank for this happening. Obviously, a dream come true for me. I want to start, of course, with the man himself, Shuhei Yoshida. You know what I mean? For years and years and years, right? I've been sending people his way, telling them to beg Shu for it. Shu hates us for this. That's the reason we won't get it. I gave him a good ribbing in December when it looked like it got leaked. You know what I mean? That he couldn't get it done. Of course, Shu's been amazing. Thank you so much, Shu, for putting up with that. Thank you, of course, Herman Hulse. You know what I mean? New head honcho here of Worldwide Studios, getting in there, cracking some heads, making it happen, actually getting out there. Thank you to Japan Studio, of course, PlayStation Japan Studio over there. A first party making this, working with Pyramid, of course, back in the day, but continue to work on this. But more importantly, of course, a big fuck you to Cory Barlog, who had the fucking power this entire time to make this happen. You know what I mean? They say when you get to the top, you kick the ladder back down. You help up the next guy. Cory Barlog finally makes it to the top of the pyramid. What does he do? Keeps the ladder to himself. Makes a documentary about himself. In the fucking documentary, shows a PS4 debug running Patapon 2 Remastered. Does no help. Doesn't help get it out to anybody. Doesn't use any of his pull. Coward, Barrett. You know what I mean? That's the thing, Cory. I know you like to think that just because you made my favorite game of all time, God of War now, you get a free pass around here. It's going to be hard fucking times when you show up to show God of War 2.
Oh,
all right?
wow. Hard times.
You know what I mean?
Cory, I'm on your side, man.
You haven't even met Cory. You don't know what he's like. Nobody knows
the real Cory. I would like to meet Cory someday. I'm a big fan, Cory.
You never will at this point. You never will at this point. All right?
I will be, if you want to hire me to work on your PR
Nope, don't
team.
do that. Definitely don't do that, please. Everybody really likes him. This is PSI Love You XOXO. Each and every Tuesday, Blessing and I come to you to talk about nerdy old PlayStation news and information. If you like that, be part of the show. Patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You can go there, give us your questions, comments, concerns, and everything under the PlayStation sun. You can even watch us record the show live on Monday. You can get it ad-free, and you can get it with the exclusive post-show we do day in, day out here. Well, I guess week in, week out, but that's how it all works. If you have none of those options at your disposal, no big deal. Don't want to toss us any bucks, even though we're doing a good job. I understand. You can go to youtube.com/kindafunnygames, roosterteeth.com, podcast services around the globe each and every Tuesday morning and get the show there. It has ads, and it also doesn't have that post show. You know what I mean? A lot of people like that post show, Bless.
It's a good post
show.
show.
I keep hearing about it. Well, we don't know about this one.
Not yet.
I assume this one will be all right.
Yeah, the last three have been good.
Last three have been real good. They've been bangers. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Hold on a second. I want to check something. All right, cool. You know, you do that thing where I built this dock yesterday. I was so ahead of the game, feel left behind. Build it yesterday, or build it Friday, actually.
Really?
And so I wanted to make sure nothing had changed. Nothing's changed. Heads up and a shout out again and a round of applause to all of you. The PSI Love You XOXO sweatshirt we talked about and debuted last week is sold out completely. Last time we did this, most of the sizes were out. Now everything's gone. None of these exist anymore.
Jeez.
We've put in a reorder. It's supposed to be the next couple weeks they'll be there, so stay tuned to all of our social media platforms. We'll tell you about that. Today we're brought to you by our sponsor, Postmates, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's start with what you playing. Bless. What you playing?
I can go two directions right now.
Oh, I like this.
Do you want me to talk about Doom Eternal, which I previewed? Or should I talk about GTA Online, which I've been addicted to for the last week?
Let's start with Doom Eternal, because I know you did a first impressions for that as well, but I didn't get the chance to watch it.
Yeah, so we did a first impressions video on Doom Eternal. If you want to check that out on youtube.com/kindafunnygames. That game is going to be really good when it comes out. Like
that's my thing is all the scuttlebutt previews I saw from like Game of the Year.
Yeah. No, and legit, like that's the thing that, because both me and Imran went to the same preview event, and that was the thing that Imran said when we were talking about it on the first impression stream was that like, yeah, like this game is going to be a Game of the Year contender. And in my mind, I kind of dismissed it off the idea that like, yeah, but like Cyberpunk 2077, did I get that right?
2077.
2077. I don't know why for some reason I was like, that year seems too soon.
2099 sounds better, but it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, but yeah, like Cyberpunk is coming soon. Last of Us Part 2 is coming out
Huge
soon.
year for games.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake, like Doom Eternal, like it's going to be incredible, but is it going to be Game of the Year? And the more I've kind of, had time to kind of sit with it and kind of like think about my time with Doom Eternal and the things that I liked about it, and even like read other impressions and stuff, like the more I'm like, man, that demo is really good.
Yeah.
Like Doom 2016 already is probably my favorite first-person shooter campaign of the generation.
Yeah.
And all of the things they did in Doom Eternal to kind of step that franchise forward, I think they made all the right decisions. Specifically, my favorite thing they added was the dash. So if you press circle now, you do like a dash move, which I don't believe Doom 2016 had. And that dash makes the game feel more fluid. It makes you feel like you have more control, and so you have that along with the more focused in and refined idea of we're playing combat chess, right? You are solving combat puzzles where it's not you're not just being thrown into a room and you're not just taking out NPCs, right? Like Doom as a modern franchise, right? Doom 2016, Doom Eternal. I feel like at face value, you're like, oh yeah, these are shoot 'em ups you play to like put your mind on rest and just murder things, senselessly.
Yeah.
And I feel like Doom Eternal, from what I played, has the appeal of something like that, where you want to just turn your mind off and just go on a murder spree on some demons. But at the same time, I feel like for me, I was really thinking about all the moves I was making as I was making them. So like, I always felt like I was at the edge of my life. I was always feeling like I ran out of ammo, and that was not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, because they give you ways to retrieve ammo, right? You use your chainsaw. You have to switch your chainsaw and chainsaw an enemy, and that enemy will then pour out ammo, right? They do the same thing for health, where you get an enemy close to death, right, and they start blinking, and you press the melee button and you do a glory kill and you get health out of them, right? And they also have a flamethrower attachment that you can use to then once you flamethrower enemies, you can then gain armor out of them. So you have those three things, those three resources that you're managing a lot.
Yeah.
And the balance of, hey, I'm out of health, or I'm near death. I really need to murder somebody right now. Like, it's not like any other first-person shooter, and Doom 2016 did this too, but it's not like any other first-person shooter where you're on the brink of death and you're hiding and you're
hide
like,
behind a box.
Yeah, hide behind a box and then peek out and like try to like, if you want to gain health, you have to like wait for it to regenerate, or you have to like find some health pickup somewhere.
Yeah.
Or like you have to do something. You have to essentially go on the defensive. Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, right, do a good job of making go on the offensive, and Doom Eternal even furthers that idea with more. They better manage like how on the edge you are at all times, right? And so at all times I was like, all right, I should be getting armor because I don't want to be on the brink of death, or I'm on the brink of death, I really need to murder somebody, or I'm out of ammo, I really need to get up close and chainsaw somebody. And they keep that loop going fantastically. And what are you gonna say?
When I played it at Judges Week, they did a whole presentation beforehand, as most things do, to talk about their games, but they really drove home the fact that the demo you're getting tossed into is going to kick the shit out of you, and we're unapologetic for that. And it's that you shouldn't get frustrated with it. It's that you should figure out what you did wrong and come back and do it right. And I realize that can sound like a brick wall or flippant to some regard, but for me, it is literally what I needed for it all to click. And I don't know if you remember this games cast I talked about where I started playing Doom 2016 again after that Judges Week and actually having a ball with it. Because when it first came, I was like, okay, whatever. I'm running around and shooting things and it's pretty. I'm good. And didn't play too far. And then coming out, getting that advice, having it framed like you called battle chess.
Yeah.
Of like, no, I have to actually be like Batman and figure out what my moves are. And when I do die, be like, okay, cool. Rather than get ammo early on, I should have been doing this. I should have gone to that really easy character, killed this thing, and done that, so I could have run in there with more armor.
Yeah, like the day of the demo, I got a message from the homie, my friend Michael Hyam, who also went and did the demo, and he texted me, and he was like, is it me, or like, I don't know if I'm just a bad gamer, but is Doom really hard? And in my mind, I thought he was talking about Doom 2016. And so I was like, no, man, I don't think that game was. I didn't die that much in Doom when I played Doom. That game was pretty easy. So you're just a bad gamer.
You suck.
Yeah, I'm like, you're trash, bro. And and then I went and did the demo, and then went back and talked to him about it. And then I realized he was actually talking about Doom Eternal because he thought I did the demo at the same time. But yeah, I started talking to him about it, and I was like, yeah, dude, that demo was difficult. And like
too late.
Yeah, like
I gave up gaming.
It was like, oh no, I write for Variety now. I write about movies. But it was one of those things where, we were talking about like the difficulties we were having with the game, and it's not Dark Souls hard. It's not it's not super punishing, but it is one of those things where you get to certain encounters. And it's like, oh, wow, this took me 3 or 4 times, whereas in Doom 2016, like, I didn't really have to restart all that much.
Yeah.
But certain encounters in Doom Eternal, they really do a good job of making you really, like, kind of think more about what you're doing. Granted, it's not like you're going in thinking, like, okay, this is going to be a plan. I'm going to take this guy out, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. It's not really that. It's more so, like, in the moment thinking. Yeah. But it's like really active in the moment thinking, more so than I feel like you do in other games.
I think that what I found when I came back to Doom 2016 or wrap my head around how to play it, you talked about like you might have that misconception that you can come in there and just kill a bunch of demons and run around, right?
Yeah.
And it's just murder fest like old Doom was or whatever. Whereas this obviously has more thinking and planning than that. But in the moment, I would call it strategic reflex.
Yeah.
Where you're not thinking like, oh, well, I need to do this, I need to do that. You just see all of a sudden your meters get out of whack, right? And your armor's really low and your health's really high.
Yeah.
You know you need to do that. It's that muscle memory almost of like, wait, how do I take this guy down, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Like
They give you so many options as far as like things you can do, and you kind of forget. Like once I was down to my health at certain points, I was like, oh shoot, I'm just gonna die. And then I was like, wait a second, no, because I have this thing. I can switch to my freeze bomb, which then like freezes my enemies and gives me a second to kill them if I want to, right? Or I could do my flamethrower to then get armor out of them. Like I have a bunch of options at my disposal, and it's not until I'm kind of forced to use those options to where I realize like, oh sweet, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and like that feeling of being able to kind of think back to your arsenal on the spot and really like bust stuff out and execute on it, I think is a really good feeling. They also had like platforming sections in the game, which wasn't really a thing in Doom 2016, or at least as much of a thing as it is in Doom Eternal. Seemingly, like you have a double jump, you have 2 dashes which you can do in the air. You have climbing that you're doing, and so
they're adding this whole platforming section to it, which was like broke my brain during the preview. I was telling Tim when I came back, I'm like, I struggled with this one area for so long because I totally forgot about the dash, so I wasn't dashing in the air, so I was like just missing it every time.
Yeah, I was doing the same. So this is my second time demoing Doom Eternal. My first time I demoed it at PAX West on Stadia, and so that was my first. Yeah, that was my first hands-on with Stadia and my first hands-on with Doom.
It was your last hands-on with Stadia.
Yeah, and during that time, I did the same thing where I was like, oh, I had a dash. I forgot I had a dash. That's why. Oh, okay. I didn't know I could climb. I didn't really realize I had all these abilities at my disposal. And so going into Doom Eternal the second time for the second demo, I was like, okay, now I know what to do. I know how to go about this stuff. And I think the platforming seemingly was pretty good. Like it's definitely not as amazing as like the combat and the actual like core of the game is, but I think it's pretty good filler between the levels. Like it's a nice cleanser, almost like a palette cleanser between those moments. And so like so far I'm very much looking forward to Doom Eternal. I think there's a chance that it could like be in those conversations with Last of Us 2 and Cyberpunk. Like crazy. I think it's that good. Granted, like we don't know what those games are going to be like, and so maybe it's a case where once I get my hands on Last of Us 2, I'm going to be like, oh snap, this is the next coming of Jesus Christ. But so far, I'm like, Doom Eternal is going to be, I think, is going to be one of the best games of the year.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's coming up quick, too, right?
It is. It's coming March-ish. Yeah. Same day as Animal Crossing.
Yeah. That's March, all right. Sorry, I wish I could play it, but I'll be playing Animal Crossing.
Dang, man.
Gotta work out
the dichotomy between those two games is great. Because you have, like, the cutest of cutesy games, and then which is, like, more of, like, a management kind of simulation kind of game, and then you have Doom Eternal, which is just hardcore everything. Yeah. And so I'm really excited for that day. It's going to be a good game. Good day. I've also been playing GTA Online. Yeah, tell me about this now. You're back in, you say. You're fully back in. So John Wick style. Yes, John Wick style. I'm back in. I'm thinking I'm back. GTA 5 is probably one of my favorite games, like, ever. Like, I really, really like it. Now, when GTA. You say that, do you mean single player? Do you mean multiplayer? I mean as a full package. Okay. Yeah. Because the thing for me is, growing up, GTA San Andreas was one of my favorite games of all time. And I remember being in like high school playing San Andreas and being like, man, San Andreas, because that was probably the first time. How you say it? San Andreas. San Andreas. People were making fun of me before when I said San Andreas. I forget when. It's okay. No, it's like when I called Luminous Lumines. It's fine. Yeah. In high school, so San Andreas was the first GTA game I played where it kind of clicked for me. Sure. I remember being at a friend's house playing GTA 3 and being like, this seems cool, but I don't really get it. And then he got Vice City, and I was like, this seems cool. I don't really get it. And then, I have no affinity for the 80s. Yeah. Or Ray Liotta. No, legit. Like, I didn't, which I think is the thing. I think that was like the separation for me. Sure. And so he also got San Andreas, the same friend that got Vice City in 3. And I remember being at his house and being like, this game, it's pulling me in a little bit more than the other games, but like at the same time, I still don't really understand the appeal of GTA that you seem to have. And then I had an uncle that bought me GTA San Andreas for whatever reason. I don't know why. I was gonna say you seem too young. Yeah, no, I was very young. I was like 13, 14 at the time. Gotcha. He got it for me. That sounds like the kind of job the uncle has, though. Yeah, you know what I mean. That's if you're an uncle, that's kind of what you do. He was like, "Oh, you want a sip of beer? You want this mature?" He was like, "You like video games? I got one for you." And then he bought me San Andreas, and I remember being like, this seems like a lot for where I'm at, but hey, I'll take it. Sure. And we were playing it, and it probably wasn't until I got to the second city in the game, San Fierro, which is like the San Francisco adjacent, where I was like, oh, this is incredible. Like this map feels huge. Like I can't believe you fit 3 cities that are Las Vegas being Las Venturas, San Francisco being San Fierro, and then LA, Los Angeles, which is Los Santos, right? You have those 3 cities, and then you have like a desert area, and then you have like a mountainous area, then you have a country area, and this map feels so huge and vast and diverse in a way that I had never really experienced in a video game because I didn't really get that far into GTA 3 and I didn't get that far into GTA Vice City.
Even if you had, I mean, like San Andreas is on such a different level.
Yeah, like it felt crazy to me. And there was that. There was the story, which I really dug and I really appreciated. There was all the different features. Like I know a lot of people hated on like the RPG elements that they added in, like
the getting fat,
weight
getting
management, managing like your respect, doing all this different stuff. I really thought that stuff was really cool because I never really got into a deep RPG like that.
Yeah.
And San Andreas is not a deep RPG, but it takes those elements in a way that I hadn't really experienced those elements truly in a game.
This is way back in the day. Oh, I mean, God, this is
2004. I want to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But I mean, I remember like I remember when I started IGN in 2007, we were still talking about you still put in your previews that it had RPG like mechanics. You know what I mean? Now every game is RPG like, right? But yeah, for what you're talking about, it did have these elements that were totally not normal.
Yeah, that did not feel like GTA.
Yeah.
And so I remember at the time being like, San Andreas is like my favorite game ever made, and I can't imagine this game being better. The only way that San Andreas can get better is if it had better graphics, feels slightly less glitchy, and if there was like, I don't know, man, online multiplayer. And then GTA 5 came out, and I was like, this is my perfect game. I don't need another game ever
Stop
again.
making them. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. And like to this day, I kind of still, I mean, I don't feel like don't make another GTA. Definitely make another GTA.
Yeah.
But GTA 5 plus GTA Online is like kind of my perfect game for all the things that I appreciate about San Andreas and about video games. Like I like the feeling of being in a vast, detailed open world. I like the feeling of being in like a map, a city that feels like it's living and breathing, and I liked the idea of getting to explore that with friends.
Yeah.
And so that was the
totally.
thing, that was the thing that brought me back into GTA Online, is that my friend Alex from OK Beast and Brandon hit me up and they're like, "Hey, we just started playing GTA Online again just cuz." And I was like, "Say no more." I'm in, because I want to say I put in 300 to 400
Holy
hours
shit.
already.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have friends that I really played GTA Online with. I remember when Heist came out, I think I found some people in the Kind of Funny Facebook group that I played with for that, right? And it was the four of us, and we ran through like 5 of the different heists because they had put out 5. But I jumped back into it because I was like, man, it's been a while. I know that like over time, some of these aspects of GTA Online haven't aged as well, like such as partying up, which is difficult to do.
Whew.
The loading times are outrageous. They're weirdly long, but like it's the thing where the game came out in 2013, and so you kind of have to forgive it in some aspects. But I've been playing it for the last week and I've been enjoying it, and it's been fun because I also have another friend, Maria, who I brought in, and she's starting from scratch, and so it's been this experience of starting her from level 1 and being like, all right, what are the things that you don't have? Because I've been playing this game for so long that I don't know what it's like being at level 1. She's like, okay, well, I only have a pistol. And I was like, all right, you got to fix that. And she's like, I don't have a car. We got to fix that. All right, I don't have an apartment. Okay, we got to fix that. And she's like listing things. And I'm like, all right, let's check off this list one by one.
You're like, all right, yeah, you know what? Just tell me what you have.
Yeah. She's like,
I
have a pistol. That's it.
Yeah.
And so it's been this experience of trying to figure out like, okay, it's 2020, 7 years down the road. How has GTA changed, and how do we adapt to like what the game is now and figure out how to start from the ground up, which the game doesn't do a good job of conveying and really like telling you. Like the game doesn't really point you in a direction, which for me coming back, I'm like, okay, what do I want to do? And I think I've slowly figured out that you kind of have to pick a direction and just go with it if you want to get into GTA Online. And so that's kind of what I've been doing, and that's what I've been trying to help her do. It's like, okay, so our goal for you is to get you your weapons and get your car and get you your things, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a nightclub, which I did. And so you go
do whatever it is you do. I'm starting a nightclub.
Yeah, so I bought a nightclub property. I've been doing missions for that, and I've been trying to manage like, okay, how exactly does this work? How does this help me make money? All this stuff. And it's been a good time. It's been a really good time. And
that's rad. And so has it been? Is she having fun? Like coming in brand new?
I think so.
This many years gone,
and it's hard to gauge, because if she was like, I'm super frustrated, I'd be like, I understand, because this game's not really telling this, like, even for us just to party up has been an issue. Right?
See, that was when Kevin and I tried to jump in. Like we gave it the college try. God, what 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, Kev, where we were going through it, and we wanted to actually see if we could capture that zeitgeist, and it was the thing of getting in there and making the cars. That was all fun, But then trying to party up was such a nightmare.
Yeah.
We'd be together and we'd go into, even with Peanut, we'd go in there to, do a race or a thing, and the teams would get split up the wrong way, where I'd be with strangers and Kevin would be playing. I'm like, why?
Like, as far as I know, there's not really a way to like formally party up in a way that you're going into sessions, like going into lobbies with each other, right? Like, you have to essentially be in the same session, like open world session, and then you could go on call on a job with your friends, and then hopefully it'll bring your friend along with you into a job if you go on a job or into like a match or whatever, right? And then you also have to make sure you get sorted into the same team. Like, a lot of stuff is really ridiculous, and I think they try to remedy it by doing this whole like organization thing where you can make an organization and then hire people as your bodyguards whenever you like log on to a session. But even that, I don't think does the thing that it kind of needs to do in terms of bringing people in with you into jobs and stuff, which I hope they fix with GTA 6, because I think it's just one of those things where the game came out in 2013 and it came out before games like Destiny and other shared world experiences, and so it's just behind.
And that's the thing about it, I mean, like how ridiculous it is to talk about this game that millions of people are still playing. It's making money, but it's a 2013 game.
Yeah.
And so it is that all of these online ease of use cases have come around and shown how to do this, but what are they going to do?
It's so like GTA Online is so behind where it needs to be in 2020.
Did you get into Red Dead at all? Red Dead Online? Did you try that at all? No.
I logged on and I didn't love the single player. I think I got to like chapter 4 or 5, and I was just like, I'm not really having a good time, and I put in like a lot of hours, and so I'm just gonna peace out.
Yeah.
And then when Online came out, I was like, all right, let me see what this is about. But then I booted it up, did like the opening cutscene, and I was just like, I just don't feel like being in this world. Yeah. Like, I think part of the reason I love GTA Online is because of like the vehicles being able to drive fast, and like as simple as it sounds, driving fast in GTA is so like satisfying to me.
Sure.
Because I have my upgraded car that's like it's an Entity XF, I think is what it's called, and I have it all decked out, and it goes so fast, and just that alone is like it's a good feeling, right? And so going back to has she been enjoying playing online? We did a game or like a mode called Overtime Rumble, which was like the featured mode for the last week, which means you get double times the money and double times the experience from doing that job. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, hey, let's jump into this and make you some money. And essentially what the mode is there are two teams. It takes place like up in the sky. This is gonna sound crazy as I'm explaining it, but it takes place up in the sky, and two teams of like, let's say 4 or 5. 2 teams of 5 go down ramps and then launch off the ramps, and then if you press X, your car will deploy a parachute, and then you want to land on like a board that has numbers on it. That has like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Sure.
And the numbers correlate to points, right? And so like 1 will be like the largest like area you can land on, then 4 or no. Yeah, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5 is the highest amount of points, but it's gonna be the hardest thing to land on. And it sounds ridiculous, and when you watch it, you're like, this thing's in GTA, right? But when we were playing it, we were like, this is weirdly really fun. And I think it's goofy things like that have kind of like had us coming back for more. And like, we played that for probably like an hour and a half, just that mode. And by the end of it, we were like, this is like really good. And it's wild to think that like there are countless modes like that in GTA, like a lot of modes like that. And there was a clip I posted yesterday on Twitter of like me doing a race. It was like called a special race or whatever, and it was just another race that like took place in the sky where you're doing like these Hot Wheel tracks, and like I was doing that thinking that that's what the whole race was, and I was like, this is pretty cool. But at a certain point, I then go on a loop-de-loop, and the loop-de-loop points down, and I'm driving my car literally 180 downwards toward land, and then like I get launched off the road, and I'm going directly into water, right? And it's like 10 seconds of me being in air, falling down, and I'm like, what's about to happen? Are we all just about to die in this race? And then I get a prompt on the screen that's like, press X to change your car to I forget the mode, like water mode or whatever. And I press X, and my car transforms into like a submarine kind of thing, and then I land in the water, and the race continues underwater. And I'm like, yo, this is sick. Like, this is incredible, and this is happening all in GTA Online.
See, and that's the thing is, like, I feel like those moments are so there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like when we came back, one of the main things that was trying to push us to play more GTA here is that we did, it was me, Tim, Nick, and Colin, right? We teamed up with the Achievement Hunters way back in the day and did GTA 5 Let's Plays. And like when we did like every bullet counts and all those different things.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is amazing. We were having we're in hysterics, doubled over laughing and doing, you know what I mean? It was like so amazing. And then coming here and like setting up all these profiles and trying to figure it out and we've done party modes here that we're like, all right, let's do a race or whatever, and it is like we picked the wrong race and it goes on forever, and it's like Nick is way in the back being terrible, like what is going, like he's mad, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah,
like when it works, it's the
when
best.
It works, it's the best, but there are so many ways in which your GTA Online experiences go awry because the game doesn't really do a good job of filtering you toward the best stuff or pointing you toward a specific direction, and like there's like monetization issues, like, you know, I think the game doesn't message well how, like, what it wants to be, because they release like new expansions, they release like the casino stuff, and they release like big expansions that are free, quote unquote. Like they're free expansions that you don't need to pay anything extra to get into, but at the same time, if you want to do the casino heist, which was like a new big thing, right? If you want to do the casino heist, you then have to buy an arcade. An arcade costs millions of in-game dollars, and it's hard to raise that much money. And I think for them, they're like, oh yeah, you know, we're not making you pay for the expansions, so we got to make money somewhere. And they're gonna make that money off of microtransactions.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your way to pay toward the expansions. But I feel like the messaging and the execution of it is weird and rubs a lot of people the wrong way. In fact, like in some ways, it rubs me the wrong way because I'm like, I'm playing GTA and I'm like, I wanna do all these different things, all these different cool things, but I feel like I got to spend a lot of money to do it. And
it was like when we started, and it was like, oh yeah, I want a DeLorean because the DeLorean was, and it was like, all right, cool, it's $3 million or whatever the hell it was. And you look into it, like, I'm not paying.
It's like, oh yeah,
$70 for this car.
Yeah, no, exactly. And for me, I've put in hundreds of hours into GTA Online, and I don't have nearly enough money to afford like everything I want to do.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're supposed to really be able to do everything you want to do. You're supposed to kind of pick and choose and be like, okay, I'm going to focus on this, and then, you know, if I had to pay like $10 worth of microtransactions, I'll do it. I've never really paid for any GTA microtransactions, but I was thinking about it this weekend playing it, where I was like, oh man, it'd be nice to be able to just afford a thing. So that can get frustrating, but overall, like, it feels good to be back. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing it. It's been one of those things where I'm like, I'll play it as long as I have friends that are playing it, because if at this point that game feels like home to me.
Sure.
As weird as that sounds, but yeah, it's been GTA Online or GTA 5 for me.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important to have games like that are the, you know what, this is home. I'm always going to go back to this in some respect, right? I'm going to see where it is and what it is and if it's pulling my strings and if I want to get into it, and then let alone have somebody who's new going through it, right? That you can go through.
I think that's the best thing. I think that's the thing that really got me hooked this time, is that I had somebody that was like starting from ground zero, and I'm like, oh, I know what you need to do. You need to get these things, and we can have an actual progression here in a way where, for me, at level, I think I'm at 106 now in GTA Online. I'm like, I don't know what to do now. Like, I had to like look up things. I mean, like, okay, I guess I'm gonna start a nightclub because this seems like the most lucrative thing I can do.
This is what I can do now.
Yeah.
So you don't have like I always figured the higher you got up, the more there was the, here's how I'm just making money hand over fist.
They have bunkers and ways to make money. I don't know if you can ever make money hand over fist. I might be wrong about that, but they have like ways that you can passively make money. And the nightclub is one of those ways. I got a bunker a while ago, but I never got it running because I did not understand how to do it, and because the place my bunker is on the map, and I feel like most bunkers are like in the northern part of the map, but my bunker is at the very north of the map, and my apartment is down in Los Santos, and it's like in real life probably like a 7 to 8 minute drive to get to my bunker from my apartment, and I don't want to do that every single time I log into the game, and so I just like abandoned that, and then like I don't think I really had any businesses outside of that bunker, so the nightclub is gonna be my first business in GTA that's not the bunker, I want to say. And then I'm also gonna buy an executive office once I make enough money for that. So now I have like a vision of like, okay, this is the path I'm going down, which is nice.
Instead of just aimlessly killing things.
Yeah, aimlessly like doing random events or doing heists or whatever, which is what I would usually do.
Yeah. All right.
What have you been playing?
I've been doing a bunch of different stuff. I got an email a couple weeks ago for a game coming up this week. So like as of the 30th. Sucks their date got stolen by Patapon, but it's called Coffee Talk.
Okay.
And so, did you ever play or hear about a game called Valhalla?
I've heard about Valhalla.
The bartending
Yes.
simulator, right? Where you are a bartender at a bar, people come up, they order stuff, you also talk to them, and it's a narrative game, right? Coffee Talk came into my inbox, I read through the thing, and it sounds like Valhalla without the bar part of it, right? It's just you running a coffee shop. And their description is a narrative simulator where a blend of fantasy races enjoy conversation over warm drinks. And so it's set in Seattle, 2020
cool.
Seattle.
Oh, wow.
But alternate 2020 Seattle, where it is that basically like it's a fantasy world where it is that humans and orcs and elves and all these races are living peacefully together. They've all given up on the stupid shit Andy likes. So like, oh, Legolas, you shoot your arrow at the eye and then we'll get the ring, and like, none of that crap. They're just all people living in city.
This is like the upcoming Pixar movie. I forget what it's called, but the one with Tom Holland. Kevin, you know what I'm talking about. The one with Tom Holland.
Dr.
and,
Dolittle.
Onward. Yeah, it's like Onward.
Close
Or
enough.
Bright with Will Smith.
Also true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than that already, though. Because I've done like 45 minutes of this one. And it is that narrative text adventure that I dig once in a while. Like, I wouldn't only want to play these kind of games, like, the visual novel kind of thing. But there is something so enticing and in this game so rewarding about doing it, where it is that I'm being told the story while being an active participant in the story. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm running this coffee shop. I open when basically all the other coffee shops go to bed or close, and then I'm up like through the wee hours in the morning, right?
Are you playing as Greg or are you playing as a character?
You name it. So it's Greg.
Okay.
I'm Greg or whatever. And so, yeah, I'm just playing as it, and I'm, the characters are everybody else talking to me, and their drama and everything else is how we get involved in their lives and their stories and give them advice. But it's even that, it's more, it is very much watching their stories unfold and then me making their drinks. So it is that like people walk up and they want, a chocolatey espresso or whatever. And so I go to the coffee bar, and then the little, my menu on my phone pops up, and I can go look at my recipes, and I see what a chocolatey espresso looks like. It's always 3 ingredients over here that you choose, which you put in the thing, you brew it, you give it back. And occasionally it's just like Valhalla. You get the people who come up and he's like, I don't know what I want, but I want something sweet and not too bitter. And so you have to look at what you have available recipes and gauge if that's the right thing and give it to them. And they'll give you the response of, like, oh, this is good, but it could be better, or this is exactly what I wanted, I didn't know. And you go on that way about it. But it is that voyeurism I think so many people like. It's the voyeurism for sure I like in like when you are watching a good movie, reading a good book, just people watching in public, where it is very much these people come up and they are like, there's this couple that is they're different races. She's Elven, I think, and he's Orc or something to that effect. And hot? It's hot for you? You like that? And it is like, his parents don't accept her, and so like there's this whole conversation about that, and they talk shit about her last night, and like I'm just a fly on the wall there, serving them coffee, listening to their thing, watching it all unfold. And there's a woman there who's like, my best customer who comes in every night, and she's gonna write a book about the place. And so then when another customer comes in, I'm explaining that to him that she's gonna do this, and it's just like it's nice to be. It's one of those Cheers kind of moments, right? Of like I'm dropped into this place where everybody knows your name. Like, here we are. These people all have relationships.
Yeah.
I'm catching up with them as we go, getting the whole lay of the land. Like, it has that, visual art or visual novel style, right? Where it is just, one static shot pretty much, and people coming in and occasionally doing little movements. But, basic graphics and really good
Do
storytelling.
you like walk around at all, or is it just like
It's
text?
just me. No, it's just I never see my character. It's not like that at all. It's just text.
Okay.
So as they're popping up and doing stuff there, and like,
Are they conversation trees?
Not yet. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually there are, but I think if it's like Valhalla, it's going to be more about the drinks I'm serving and how that changes things.
Gotcha.
But I haven't seen that yet. Again, I'm super early in it. There's a demo out right now. The first 20 minutes, I'm not too much far past that.
Okay.
In terms of it, but if you like that kind of idea, we're talking earlier about like a relaxing game, right? Like this is that where it is like the night I started, it was a night where I was like, I don't feel like jumping into Peace Walker and having to run around and have the things attacking me or be challenged by that. It was very much that I just wanted something to talk at me, which is always what I'm looking for when I want to watch TV or when I want to watch a movie. I want the story to be told to me, and that's what's happening here. While I'm the side character to their adventures, right?
Yeah.
It's neat. It's cool, and I like that kind of thing. I like those kind of story-based games.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at like screenshots.
Yeah, I know.
now.
I want to bring up a trailer, but Kev had to step away.
Yeah.
So I can.
It has a
click through
nice style to it.
Yeah, and
I'll
that's
say.
the thing. Hold on one second. I almost got it. Kev, I'm going to send you a trailer, all right? Do you want it to control assets? Okay. Yeah, it's got this, how would you describe it? Because it's not like, without sounding offensive, it's got that indie game style.
No, yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There you go, Kev. Assets for you. We're gonna bring
The
this up.
characters are all hot.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Who wants to play a game with ugly people? And I look in the mirror every day at an ugly person. I don't need to see it when I play my video game.
When you saw like orcs and like different creatures,
oh yeah, no.
I was expecting like ugly orcs. These are like hot orcs.
Oh yeah, no, everybody's super hot.
Yeah.
There's Freya, yeah, who I noticed that name immediately. Freya, I was like, you're gonna be up to stuff. But see, this is how it is, right? Of them coming in. Georgie, the policeman, I like a lot. Oh, this is the conversation I was talking, where Bailey's parents are not down with him in this relationship. But here you see, you have these 3 different ingredients you put into your things as you go through and make it. You can trash it, you can serve it. I totally didn't know this. You're gonna see in a second here. You can do latte art. Like, the dude ordered latte from me, and I gave it to him. And he's like, "Oh, no art," and I was like, "Fuck! I didn't know I could do that." I thought I missed the option clearly, but I didn't know what it was. But this is the jam to it. It's got a chill tune to it. It's got this Seattle setting.
That's
this
awesome.
Is beautiful. Yeah, it's like
I might want to check this game out. I love when games take place in a city that you're familiar with, and so like being able to play a visual novel that takes place in Seattle, I think it'd be pretty fun.
Yeah,
especially because it's about coffee.
Totally right. And that was the other thing too, where and I know it sounds like, I mean, I'm not some dweeb or anything, but like being in Valhalla, one of your list, like cyberpunk bartender or whatever, it was like, that's not a setting. Oh, sirens are on our end, by the way. That's not a setting I connect with, right?
Yeah.
But like, hey, I run a cool coffee shop and I help people through their problems. I was like, you know what? That does sound cool.
And
like,
the trailer has like the chill beats to study too, like hip hop back.
Totally right. Yeah.
Does it have music like that in the game?
100%.
Oh,
yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, where it's like a relaxing TV show or movie to watch, where it is like that. And I find it funny that, you know, I played it a couple days ago and then got caught up in some other stuff. I still think about it, and I'm still thinking about the characters and the stories. Like, you know what I mean? I want to get back to that and see how it plays out. So, yeah, that's out January 30th. It's on PlayStation, of course, but also on Xbox and Nintendo eShop and Steam and all that jazz.
Nice.
The other thing I do will be a piggyback off of what we'll talk about here in a little bit about our 104 PSN games. But I also played Midnight Deluxe on Vita finally. Are you familiar with Midnight Deluxe?
No.
It is on my PlayStation 4. It is in my cheap platinums folder.
Oh, okay.
And so that should tell you all you need to know about it. Midnight Deluxe, I played on Vita because we were watching some stuff. I was watching Billy on the Street, and I was like, you know what? I got to take. Well, it's like I'm a shark. There's blood in the water. I want more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, is this one of the ones where you can get a platinum on Vita and then get another platinum?
100%. I have
PS4?
it. Right now, there are 2 versions of it on my PlayStation 4, and then the 1 version on my Vita.
Okay.
But you know, and I'm the one who will tell you when I play a game that is Garbo. For a platinum, because I do it all the time. Midnight Deluxe, not a Garbo game.
I was gonna say this game looks like it's at least all right
on Vita. Yeah. So the idea here is that you have this, you know, usually, always beautiful, but usually this blue and black landscape you're on, and the idea is that you have this cube of light that you would need to shoot across into this light portal to end the level, and so it kind of, on top of just trying to get to the goal, it judges you basically like golf, where like it gave you stars there at the end of the Let's Play, or the thing Kevin was playing. You want to throw it back up, Kevin, while I talk about it? No, you did a great job. Thank you so much. It'll give you stars based on how many strokes basically it took to get there.
Okay.
So even if you can take a million shots if you want to get it there, but if you want higher.
Is there like a par system where like it tells you the number?
Yep.
That
At the very end, if we watched him him or they or whoever complete this level they're watching on Vita, playing on Vita, no less.
Oh wow.
It looks like it's
PSTV.
Yeah, but it's blue maximum somebody else. At the end, when you get the stars, it tells you how many you needed.
Gotcha.
Which I found really cool about it is when they started explaining it at the front. I'm playing on Vita, obviously. It was like, okay, cool, and do this, and use the shoulder button, use the stick, and then I was like, wait, and then sure enough, it's touchscreen. You can just play it with touchscreen, so you can just drag and point.
That's really cool.
Just point where you want to do it. It is based. This is you see, I'm just trying to not fall off this thing, but as you see, the longer you pull it out, the more power you're putting behind it. So there are little putts, there are big drives and stuff to this. And then I know we're just getting dropped sight unseen to do a thing here. They're you can't touch the tops on certain levels. There's hazards down there so that if you miss, he's restarting before he even dies. If you were to fall down and hit those arrows in the bottom, you die or whatever. Then there are the super simple ones, but the whole idea is just get it there, get it in the hole, and then there you go. So 5 stars would have been, or for you, if you can get it in 2 moves, you get 3 stars and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been one that, like I said, I've downloaded forever ago because I had heard, easy trophies. But then playing it was another one where I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually a fun game. Where I could see it's, it feels like a mobile game, which is great for Vita, obviously. But I had a good time with it. The levels are varied. There's a bunch of different stuff happening on. There are, I found it almost like a good puzzle game of that idea of like, fuck, how do I do this? Like, you know what I mean? Like I see where I'm supposed to go. It seems like it should be so easy, but what is the right thing? So trying to lob instead of drive, get your character over there, do all these different things. It worked out really well.
Nice.
And an easy platinum on Vita.
How long did it take you to get the platinum?
It's hard to say. Grand total probably something like 30 to 40 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, because
wow.
the main
That's
thing
quick.
is playthrough for 40 levels. And let me tell you, level 40 is a bitch. It took me forever to figure it out. Yeah.
Wait, so like a minute per level?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's some of them are super easy, and again, like for most of the trophies, it's not like there's one for 3 stars, and then the rest are just complete the levels and move on, right? And then there's some for like how you die certain ways, all really stuff you can't avoid, and if you did, you can go back and grind it out. But yeah, it goes quick, but then there's these ones you get stumped on. So I guess that's a good point. Probably more than 40, I guess, because I bet I crushed a bunch of them super easy, but then the ones level 40 I was stuck on for a while, and it was one of those things too where I didn't want to look up. Yeah, I'm like, I know I can fucking do this. I know what you want me to do. I don't know why I can't do it. Instead of sit there and try to drag it out, it's pretty rad. And then, just a quick aside because I'm not far into it, I finally was in the right headspace to restart Senua's Sacrifice.
I'm so happy. Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice is probably in my top 15 of the generation.
And it's that thing like we talked about it before. Actually, me and Gary Whitta on Wednesday when we ran through the Ninja Theory stuff on Games Daily. It was that watching that, it's awesome. I know how awesome this game is. And Gary's like, oh, I was like, Gary, have you played it? He's like, no, I watched my wife play it. I was like, I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing where I'd started it and then I was like, all right, I'll get back to it. And I came home and Jen was addicted. And I just watched her play through all the thing and beat it. And so it was the thing when it was done, I was like, okay, cool. I don't really need to go back. But now, like, seeing it in action again, I'm like, damn, I should have beaten that myself. And, again, easy platinum. But that's beside the point. It was the idea of, like, damn, I should have played this on my own. And I'm to the point now where I'm like, I remember the ending, but I don't remember the ending. I'm like, I should go back.
Nice. Yeah. Are you? How far are you?
Not that far. I've surpassed where I was, but I would say I'm probably hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the beginning hours of the game are probably the most, like, I feel like it starts at the very beginning on a pretty strong note, and then, like, once you're doing the first areas, I feel like those areas aren't amazing, but then I feel like once you kind of push past a certain point, the game kind of gets better and better. Are you playing with headphones on?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
That was the one thing I remember being a big deal, and I started, I'm like, well, I got the sound bar, and so I started the game with sound bar. I was like, now pause. Went and got headphones, put them on.
Yeah, like it's definitely one of those games that's like meant to be played in the specific way that they want you to play it.
Yeah.
And I think like it's a pretty effective way to play the game.
I'll tell you what, man, as we're a PlayStation podcast, what a fucking loss.
Dude, okay, so when I
what a loss was in Ninja
Hellblade
Theory.
Senua's Sacrifice was the game that put me onto Ninja Theory, and I was like, wow. And I started looking more into the studio. I didn't play any of their
Heavenly Sword or Enslaved, you didn't do?
I did play a little bit of DMC, Devil May Cry, which I think was them. I'm like 90% sure they did DMC, which I wasn't huge on. And so, yeah, I didn't play Heavenly Sword or Enslaved. But
they did do DMC.
They did do DMC. Okay, so I played a little bit of that. But playing Hellblade, after I beat Hellblade and kind of looked into their philosophy as a studio, I started to appreciate them more. Especially like I saw their video of it was like a vlog video of, I believe her name is Melina Juergens, who's like the main actress.
She's Senua,
who's playing Senua, right? And she started off as, I want to say, like a video editor for Ninja Theory, and I think like they had her as like a stand-in doing that role for Senua, which is like the performance of Senua in that game is probably one of my favorite performances of somebody in a game. And so like they had her as a stand-in. After a certain point, they were like, "Hey, do you just want to be Senua because you fit this role pretty well?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." That studio seems like an awesome studio. And then like reading forward, like how their whole strategy of being like the indie AAA, like how they occupy that sphere, I think is really fascinating and really cool.
Totally.
And I really appreciate it, especially for them making the type of games they're making. And so when you look at Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice and that game being as forward-thinking and technologically impressive as it is, and then you look at Bleeding Edge, which is an entirely different type of game. It's like a melee Overwatch kind of experience. And then you look at Project Mara, which is I think is the latest thing. You look at how that looks to me more in line with like something like Hellblade, where they're using technology in order to like say something meaningful or do something meaningful. 100%. Like that studio is a really cool studio. And after they got bought by Microsoft, I remember as a PlayStation fan being like, dang it, like how, like why, like man, that's great for Microsoft, that sucks for PlayStation that they're not gonna have
major props to Microsoft for picking them up and doing that.
And so that was something I couldn't believe too, because Hellblade originally came out exclusive for PlayStation. Like it didn't come out for on Xbox until later. And so
Yes, and that was the thing. I was so impressed with them last week of doing their basically Ninja Theory Direct. Where it's like, let's talk about Senua's Saga. Let's talk about the charity project thing. Let's talk about or announce Project Mara. Like, it was ridiculous, right? Like the Project Insight, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, like I liked how they started it very clearly with like, because of Xbox and their funding and stuff, we're able to do all these crazy things. And then it was just moving on, and it wasn't like that. And I think that speaks to what Xbox is doing so well right now, where it is, again, coming from behind, trying to do a bunch of different stuff of, here you go, do what you want with it. Like, I'm sure they got approvals and stuff, but still very much like, keep doing what you do. We're not going to get in your way. What do you guys do? You want to do this? You want to do this charity project, or not charity? That sounds weird, but Project Insight, where you're working with psychiatrists trying to figure out
doing cool things with your
how games can help psychological problems.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you want to do this. Like, go for it. And I think we saw a little bit of that this weekend with Media Molecule and getting to do the impies and stuff, which was super cool and was very much not a PlayStation production.
Yeah, no, that was like one of the thoughts I was having when I tuned in. When I was tuning, I was like, man, this is like, it's pretty cool that PlayStation just allows them to kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah,
and they get to like throw on an award show in front of a green screen. And
that
do all this
made
stuff.
PlayStation assholes across the world pucker when Media Molecule's like, we want to do our own award show and we'll stream it ourselves. And we're like, oh my god, like, we have a video team, we can send them to you, or don't do this at all. But yeah, the impies I thought was an awesome, amazing idea. And I talked about it on Games Daily, and I tweeted about it over the weekend. I'm just like, for real, I guess, people who put on internet streams, let alone crazy stupid things like the showcase or Kind of Funny Live or whatever, like, that was a huge undertaking for Media Molecule to be like, you know what, we're going to do our own award show, we're going to build it in Dreams, we're going to stream it ourselves, we're going to do it, and like, to watch them do it, like, it was joking around about how I felt like it was a spare bedroom Kind of Funny, of like, we're going to do this thing, and then you start figuring out how to do that thing, and watching them have hard transitions where they cut off where somebody's still talking and they went to the package, or they started the stream and there was an echo on it because I'm sure OBS was still playing on. It was like all these adorable things that I'm sure, again, PlayStation was like, oh my god, don't do this, please. Somebody try to stop them. But to, again, PlayStation's credit, they allowed it to happen. Yeah,
which I think is really cool. And Ninja Theory is kind of like in a different way, kind of analogous for that with Xbox. And, I mean, Xbox doesn't seem to be as, hard locked on their developers. Like, it seems like, and this isn't to say that PlayStation developers don't have freedom, but it seems like there's a level of, hey, we're buying you, but we're not really going to touch anything you're doing.
Right, yeah. At this point, we just want you to make what you're making and go make cool stuff just for us.
Yeah, exactly. So are you liking Senua's Sacrifice?
Oh, yeah. It's that thing where I again, started it, was enjoying it, fell off of it. Not fell off, but got into other things this weekend, gaming-wise, because we'll get to, 104 PSN games in a second. And then once that happened, it was very much like last night, it was like, or yesterday, I was like, I'm going to get back into it. And I was like, well, am I? Because I know Patapon. I want to play Patapon. That's going to be my life. So is it even worth reinvesting in it right now, or should I chip away at a few things like Midnight Deluxe, which I did.
Nice. Wait, is that your...
No. But
that was the one we
I haven't even brought it up yet.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move.
Yeah.
To 104 PSN games ranked. If you are a new listener, hello, welcome to PS I Love You XOXO, where for 57 minutes we bullshit around about what we've been playing. On top of that, we decided to do something else when we brought the show back. Each week we read through the drop on the PlayStation blog and pick a different PSN game to play. The next week we report back, and then we will rank the games in one ridiculous list of 104 games. The rules are simple. We can't pick the same game. We can't pick something that's AAA, and it shouldn't be something we're going to play anyway. Right now, the list stands at number 1, Darwin Project. Number 2, Graveyard Keeper. Number 3, Eclipse Edge of Light. Number 4, Brain Breaker. I'll go first. Blessing.
All right.
Last week, I ended up choosing Balthazar's Dreams.
Oh, yeah,
the dog game, right? I was like, it's got a dog in it. It's this thing. Can't wait for it. PlayStation blog says it's coming. It's going to be great. The game never came out. Game never, ever came out. Amazing. So, with a heavy heart, I was selfless. I picked up Foxy Lane 2.
Oh.
Now, Foxy Lane 1, of course, is one of those cheap platinum games from Atalika Games, of course, that I went through and played 3 times to get
this
3
is the one I was
platinums.
encouraging you to pick Foxy Lane 2.
I know, but I didn't know how it fell into our rules. Because, again, if I've already played Foxy Lane 1 for cheap plats, I'm probably going to play Foxy Lane 2 for cheap plats.
But you weren't,
right?
planning on it.
It wasn't I, though.
Okay.
I don't know. Was I? I don't know. You know what I mean? I put them in the folder for a rainy day, and then I ended up doing Midnight Deluxe or whatever. So I ended up doing Foxy Lane 2. Yes, I platinumed it 3 times.
Oh my god.
Twice on the PS4, once on the Vita.
Jesus.
But what I want to do, Kevin's bringing up the launch trailer, because I know that justifiably and understandably, right, in the industry, Radalika Games gets a rap for having cheap, easy crap platinums, right? And lots of times that is 100% correct. Foxyland 2, pretty good game.
Really?
It's a port of a mobile game, iOS game, or whatever. But it's got wall jumping. It's got hidden coins. As somebody who played Foxyland 1, like there are steps forward. The graphics are better. I think it's tighter platforming.
Is this just Mario?
There's more varied levels. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, right. Like it's a 2D thing. You throw the cherries you collect now.
Okay.
So you use them as projectiles. You see right there. There's a fox coin. There's a fox coin up there. The big coins. Those are hidden. There's 3 hidden, and sometimes not so hidden, but 3 in every level that you have to figure out how to get.
This is just New Super Mario Brothers.
I ain't arguing, everybody. And so you run through, you collect these coins, you find secret worlds, you fight bosses now. Like, it was like, all right. This is
Mario.
But who cares, Blessing? Mario isn't on PlayStation, and it isn't a platinum you can get in like 30 minutes. So Foxyland 2 is.
Oh, there's co-op?
And yeah, now there's co-op.
Now, does he go into a bubble? Okay, they didn't show.
I never played it co-op. There was no trophy associated, so I couldn't tell you. I would imagine.
If he dies, if one of these characters die and go into a bubble.
Yeah.
Okay, well they didn't show.
Yeah.
We're calling up Nintendo and be like, hey, you guys gotta see this.
Mr. Nintendo.
Wow, Earth Knight was like right next on the thing, on the up next, Kevin, in that same.
It was gonna be what, Mario?
Oh, never mind, it's gone now. It was Earth Knight.
Oh, Earth Knight. Oh,
yeah, which is my.
Yeah. So, again, is it a copy of Mario? Maybe, of course. You know what I mean? There's no power-ups, though, all right? No
power-ups.
No. So that was the thing when I got to bosses, and it was very much like one hit, one kill. I was a bitch for some of them. You know, you're trying to figure out their patterns, what are they going to do or whatever.
Is it always one hit, one kill?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That I saw. And I didn't beat the game, right? I just platinumed it 3 different times. Just platinumed
What does that mean? You don't have to beat the game to platinum it?
No, God, no. You know, Radalika game? You kidding me? In Midnight Deluxe, you gotta get to level 40. There's a million other levels. There's a lot of content there if you want it, Bless. I just don't want it. I want the trophies and I want to move on.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You know what I mean? Welcome to the world of PlayStation. However, like I say, Foxyland 2 I liked. Like, I mean, it's a well put together game. Whether it's a knockoff of New Super Mario Brothers or not, who cares? Who's to say? You know what I mean? We're not lawyers.
Fair, I'm not. No.
What if I told you there's secret levels you uncover? You find a new flag, and then that
are there tubes that you go into?
What if I told you there was an overworld map?
Is
with
there
little
really?
dots, and you went down like
Wait,
that?
Is there really?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad, because I think that's actually pretty ballsy. And like Gianna Sisters exists, which is like the original ripoff of Super Mario Brothers. So if they can do it, Foxyland can do it.
Why can't Foxyland? You know what I mean? Yeah. Foxyland, pretty good.
Pretty good. Or do I have to talk first and then?
I feel like we do it and then we figure out where they all go together, right?
All right.
Because right now I'm pushing it above Graveyard Keeper. I'm just saying.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm not about to sit here and act like Graveyard Keeper. Like I said when I talked about Graveyard Keeper, right? I didn't like it, but I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's just a game that's not for me. That said, I don't think it's a great game, and so
perfect. There you go. It's done. Sirens are coming again. Everybody, be careful.
So I played Earth Knight, which I took a lot of notes on Earth Knight because there's like a lot. It's a game. It's definitely a game. So it's a 2D platformer, and I think last week I mistakenly thought I read roguelite on the PlayStation blog. It wasn't there, but the game is actually a roguelite. And so like you die and you start all the way from the beginning.
Damn, it looks good.
Yeah, so that's the thing I want to commend on this game is that I think in terms of presentation, this game looks incredible. I think creatively, like if you look at the enemy design and kind of the watercolor style they got going on here, this game looks really cool and it sounds great. Like I think when I say sound great, I think the music is great. I think the music is awesome in this game. I will say I do have the complaint that I don't think the music is mixed well. And so like right here we can hear, I don't know if the listeners can hear the music, but me and Greg can hear the music, right?
Yeah.
And I think the music is awesome. But after a certain point I was like, it's kind of grating to listen to because of how it's mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a lot. But I think melody wise, it's doing a lot. So you can turn this back down.
That's what it sounds like the whole time?
No, like there's different songs. This song
because that definitely sounds like multiple songs being shoved through a hole.
No, like that's definitely like I don't think I heard that song, particular song, but the songs that are there do sound similar to that.
Okay.
Albeit I think the melodies are better than what we're hearing there. Like they're not always as upbeat as that. But like look how cool this looks. So yeah, it's a 2D platform roguelike, which means you are starting over from the beginning after you die, and are playing procedurally generated levels. And the levels
Nice.
are just like the backs of dragons. So the game takes place after the Earth has been taken over by dragons. There are 2 playable characters, being Stanley and Sydney, along with their like science-y, like Morty looking, or not Morty, Rick looking guy, who's like the guy who's like
Shopkeep there looked like.
Yeah, the shopkeeper looking guy who like I think pilots their ship. But essentially, dragons have overtaken the Earth, and it's
which is a real threat.
Yeah, it's a real threat. You know, stay tuned. But it's the duty of Stanley, Sydney, and Rick from Rick and Morty looking dude to stop it, right? Because everybody else is giving up, but not you 3. And
Not
so
you 3.
you pick from Sydney or Stanley, and you're dropped onto a dragon. You always start off on this like purple dragon at the very like, I don't even know how to describe this. There's like different atmospheres. And so you start at the top atmosphere because you're falling down from space to Earth. So you start on the dragon. You are collecting valuables, and it's also an endless runner. And so like you don't control.
It is a platforming roguelike endless runner.
There's a lot.
My game's easier. It's a 2D it's just
it's
new
Mario.
Super Mario Brothers. It's new Super Mario Bros. Knockoff.
Yeah. So you are running. You can't really control your running, but you can control your jumping. And so Stanley and Sydney have different jumping. I played mainly as Sydney because she seemed easier to control. But you have like you can jump, you can double jump, you can jump and then jump forward, or you can jump and then dash down, right? And you're using like those mechanics in order to get to the end of each level, which at the end of each level is the dragon's head, because each level is a dragon. You're running towards its head, and you get to the head, and then you have to kill the dragon to like gather its tooth or its eye or whatever. And once you kill a dragon, you then jump off the dragon, and then you're landing on different dragons to try and collect the different resources from the different colored dragons, or you dive to the next sphere. So you start off at the like thermosphere, and then get to the mesosphere, and then go on and so forth. The game's pretty cool. Like it didn't blow me away by any means. I think the only thing that really kind of blew me away was the art style and the presentation. I think that stuff's really cool. But like I said, like the music's not mixed that well. And then gameplay wise, like we saw how much was going on screen. That stuff kind of makes it difficult to kind of understand like where your bearings are.
Gotcha.
It's hard to really understand where like hitboxes are for enemies, and that was a problem like for most of my time while playing. I was like, I feel like I should be getting hits that I'm not getting, and I'm taking damage where I don't think I should be taking damage. For a roguelite, I feel like there's a certain difficulty, like progression there should be. Like you shouldn't, like the game starts off on easy, and then by the second dragon you get to, I feel like it ramps up to hard.
Oh wow.
And I feel like there should be more of a natural progression. Like I played quite a few hours, and I felt like I didn't really at any point felt compelled to really get better and really progress, because I felt like I wasn't really progressing skill wise. Like I was progressing in terms of like you're starting over a lot. The thing that you carry with you are upgrades that you can buy, and then they will appear as power-ups within the levels.
Okay.
You know, I was progressing that, but aside from that, I didn't really feel like I was getting better at the game by any means.
Gotcha.
And so like, you know, I enjoyed my time with it. I didn't hate it at any point while playing it. I thought it was pretty cool, but at the same time, it's not a game that after this, I'm not going to go back to it.
Sure.
Like after this, I'm going to be pretty much done with it. And also there are key elements of the game that are taught to you through loading screens, which was a frustrating thing. You know, like when you're
not a fan of
you're at the end of the level and you're killing the dragon, if you're playing as if you're playing as Sydney, if you're playing as Stanley, you have a sword. It is Shadow Colossus style, where you lift the sword, and at the top of the lift, you then press the button and then stab the dragon. You have to do that a few times. Playing as Sydney, you have to do a different thing. I never understood that thing. And I was waiting for the loading screen to tell me, but I never got that loading screen. I did get the loading screen for Stanley, which is how I understood Stanley's.
Sure.
So that's a frustrating thing. And yeah. Oh, the last thing I'll say is that I think gameplay wise, even though I have some qualms, the thing I will say is that in other platformers where the focus is jumping and like executing jumps well, the thing that
like Foxyland 2.
Like Foxyland 2. The thing that this
Which
game,
at the end, by the way, you end the level by going into a castle and going to the top and raising a flag and fireworks.
Are you serious? That's hilarious. The thing that this game does that I think makes it a bit more mechanically complex and also interesting is it it's more about timing your falls than it is about timing your jumps.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So you want to jump over your enemies, right? And you jump on top of enemies to kill enemies. But you have a lot of control, or let me not say a lot of control, but the game emphasizes controlling your downfall. And so you can jump, and then if you press down, you fall a bit faster. Or if you press with Sydney, if you press circle, right, you do a far jump. Or if you do press square, you do like a dash to the ground, right? You're using that in order to like land on enemies in specific ways. And if you get like a combo of like 5, you regain health. The game really wants you to like master like falling at certain points. And if you like mess up too, like you'll definitely get hit by enemies. And so I think that's like a cool thing. But the hitbox situation kind of makes it difficult.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can call it a hitbox situation, or more of like a art style situation. It sucks because it's one of those cases where the art style visually incredible, in practice kind of ruins the experience a bit, which I think is a bummer. But that said, I had enough fun with it. You know, if the game looks cool to you, I'd recommend giving it a shot.
Okay.
I think it's only $15, and so there you go, Earth Knight.
Where do you want to rank it then? Right now we have number 1, Darwin Project, number 2, Foxyland 2, number 3, Graveyard Keeper, number 4, Eclipse, number 5, Rainbreaker.
So I would definitely put it over Graveyard Keeper. Now I'm looking at Foxyland 2 and trying to figure out like.
Here's the thing about Foxyland 2.
Yeah.
While unabashedly knocking off Mario, and I'm happy you caught on to that. I mean, it's fun. It's Mario. Who doesn't want more Mario? Who doesn't, you know what I mean? Who doesn't want to do that? Is it Mario? No, of course not. You're a cute fox running around trying to get your kids back from these bosses. Mario never had that much depth. You know what I mean? Trying to chase some woman he's not even married to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm going to put it under Foxyland.
I was going to say, you better.
Yeah.
don't do Foxyland 2 like that. You're not
like
even
I
into
do
it.
have like there are things about Earth Knight that I think the game does incredibly. Again, art style, it being kind of unique in some of its gameplay elements. That said, it can get frustrating in ways that Foxyland 2 seems to be just like a great laid back experience.
Just run around,
and you can get that platinum.
jump around, do some stuff. Double jump, you know.
So there you go.
How are you gonna get the good double jumps? Don't step on that spike. Oh, that platform fell away. You know.
It's just Mario.
Yes, it's just Mario. And again, Mario's pretty good. Nathan, I'm sorry, it's time to pick our thing from next week. What will we play next week?
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
There, though, Nathan Show-ket at Indie Ronin writes in and says, I'd like to suggest a couple of games this week for the 104 PSN Games rank list. I know that you guys seemingly prefer to pick the games blind, but I think the list can be even more meaningful if you guys have games that you may actually enjoy, rather than putting together a ranking of mediocre games. I may not always be able to give you a spot-on pick, but I'm hoping to get you at least enjoying making the list. I'm enjoying making the list so far, for the record.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it too, aside from that first week where I had to play Graveyard Keeper and I kept losing my save.
Now
I almost went crazy.
Here's where Nathan, is he clairvoyant? Nobody knows. The first one is called Coffee Talk, which appears to be a super chill game which you listen to lo-fi music, make drinks for people as they order them, and listen to stories about their lives. The characters all look like they're from fantasy-related universes, but I still think Greg may enjoy immersing himself in learning about this strange metropolitan's inhabitants and managing the creation of their beverages. Picking one for Blessing is admittedly tough, though, since there seems to be quite a bit of garbage on the drop this week. But Music Racer seems to be the one of the potentially more interesting titles. I'm not sure how he feels about rhythm games, B Jr., but the synth soundtracks in the game trailer sounded pretty hot, and it seems like you get to feel like you're going fast, possibly like Sonic.
Oh.
So
said the magic word.
We're opening that up. We're opening it up, letting Nathan get in here and give some recommendations, sure. But we will now open up the drop. This is from, of course, our friends at the PlayStation blog. Justin wrote it as always. Here's what's coming out this week. Arc of Alchemist. Nobody's picking that. I'm not going to read it. Here's one. Autobahn Police Simulator 2.
Oh.
Start your even more exciting career as a law enforcer on Europe's fastest road now. Your adventure begins right in the middle, in the police station, where colleagues are present too. Over the course of the game, you can further develop the station and gain access to new opportunities and missions this way.
What?
Classic. That's a classic PlayStation blog blurb if I've ever read one. Book-bound Brigade. This is one that stood out to me for you, Bless. What if all protagonists of books lost their memory? Venture into their world and beat the hell out of the historical and literary characters you studied in school. Book-bound Brigade is a new take on the established Metroidvania genre where you get to lead a colorful bunch of real and fictional heroes.
Oh, wow.
Code Shifter. Over 100 characters appear in this absurd side-scrolling action game. New and somewhat nostalgic graphics that nicely blend flat and pixel art styles. A cheery comedy portraying everyday life at a video game company. Use the program Code Shifter to fix bugs. Will you have your game ready in time for the new release, or for the release date? Then Coffee Talk, we've already talked a lot about. I think I've explained it enough. The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3. Jump right into this unique action RPG and be the legendary monster hunter. Probably not. The Inner Friend. Descend into an eerie world made of scattered memories and unresolved traumas and explore a nightmarish landscape where you will come face to face with childhood fears and nightmares. Led by a mysterious shadow, face fears and nightmares inhabiting its materialized subconscious universe.
The Inner Friend.
The Inner Friend. I have an inner friend, don't you? Sometimes it's an outie friend. It came from space and ate our brains. A merciless alien species that feeds on human brains, has invaded the Earth. Who can stand up to them? You, obviously. Save the world, or at least yourself. Send aliens to oblivion in this unique top-down arcade shooter where hordes of enemies are trying to corner you and get inside your skull. Journey to the Savage Planet. That's 2 AAA. We can't put that on there, right? That's a bigger one from 505. Welcome to the Pioneer program.
Is that AAA or is that AA?
That's AA. You're right. I apologize. That's a good point. That's a good point. And this upbeat and colorful first-person adventure game. Didn't like it when I played it Judge Week. I'm not going to play it now. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is one that I've been excited for, but I was going to play regardless, so I disqualify myself. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition is a magical, realist adventure game in 5 acts, featuring a haunting electronic score and a suite of hymns and bluegrass standards recorded by the Bedquilt Ramblers. Originally published episodically over a span of years, the TV edition collects all 5 acts along with the interludes, originally published separately. Kawandan. Is it Kawadan?
Quaidon.
Azuma Manor Story. Seamlessly combining 3D action and point-and-click adventure, Kawadan provides a nostalgic yet new experience. We're going to skip that one. Lode Runner Legacy. Ooh, that's okay. Lode Runner, the action puzzle masterpiece, is back. Regain stolen gold from the enemies in the labyrinth. Play with your friends in local multiplayer. Create levels, characters, and share with the players around the world. Mad Age and this guy. Ah, man. Mix of Bomberman and steampunk puzzle game with pixel art graphics and crazy piano music. Did I mention bombs and explosives? Milo's Quest. Oh, my God. Kevin, show Milo. Scroll down. Show Milo Quest art. Fuck yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is on Vita 2. Join Milo on his quest to lift a curse that brought back the evil King Old Skull. The young pupper Milo is enjoying his time in the park and sees a delicious bone to chew on. This bone is cursed and sets free the evil King Old Skull. Now it's up to Milo to go on an adventure and stop the curse. Fuck, man, that's good. Music Racer. This is the one I think they were talking about, right? Music Racer is the dynamic rhythm game loved by millions of players around the world. Rush along futuristic neon tracks. Gather beats, catch the rhythm. The racetrack is created in real time based on the game's music tracks. Get the rhythm and collect as many points as possible. And then XOXO Ascension. Guide your way through 90 unique challenging levels, racing against the clock and a test of skill, reflexes, and patience in this award-nominated indie arcade speedrunner. I like the honesty.
Award nominated.
We're not an award winner, all right? Don't even Google it. We're nominated. Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, The God, Ethelhaus, and Awaken from His Sleep. Nobody cares. Pro Deer Hunting, PlayStation 4 Digital. Another great box art of a deer with a deer head coming out of it.
Oh, my God.
Hunt 4 different North American whitetail deer subspecies. Take your deer hunting to the next level. Stunning realism in graphics, environments, and hunting tactics. Allow you to test your skills. See if you have what it takes to be the next pro deer hunter.
Who proved this?
Saboteur. Saboteur is a classic retro game from 1985. Now, after 35 years, Sim Fabric, in collaboration with Clive Townsend, has prepared a special remastered version of Saboteur for PS4. Shadow the Ronin. God, there's a lot of fucking games this week.
Dude, there are a lot of games.
I didn't expect it when we launched into, guys. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, man. A legendary samurai of ancient capital Imperial was deprived and expelled from the lands, and all your family killed by the orders of the Emperor. After these events, he swore vengeance against the opponents until death. Thus begins a long and bloody battle. Sisters Royal, 5 sisters under fire. The first game in 12 years from Alpha System. The team that brought you Shoot 'em Up Castle of Shinkigami 3. Yeah, that's going to go on.
Sisters
Throw
Royale.
anything. Get secret missions from Secret Delivery Agency and save the world from zombie horde in this VR action game. Throw anything. PSVR? No, well, yeah. I mean, I'm on PlayStation. They know that. There's nowhere to run, blah, blah. Top Run. That's another guy and his dog. Top Run is an endless runner with platformer elements. Play as Kevin and his dog Buddy and make your way through the neon city full of dangerous enemies. It has everything we love: neon pixel art, a bit of Outrun, tiny pieces of synthwave, scanline, VHS effects. What else? What else anyone want? That's what I'm reading right. What else anyone would want in a retro arcade game?
Oh my god.
Vigilante Ranger. It's still not over,
You
guys.
see what they did with the VR there?
Vigilante Ranger is
I
an
see
intense tower defense virtual reality game that will transport you to a dystopian future where the Willy Jetman, Astro Monkey's Revenge. Fuck me. Willy Jetman, Astro Monkey's Revenge is an arcade shooter full to the brim with action and shooting inspired by the console classics of the 90s. A mysterious accident causes an environmental disaster on a faraway planet, but don't worry, here's Willy, a friendly street sweeper who somehow gets wrapped up in the biggest space adventure ever told. Fuck me. God damn, Bless.
That was
not prepared.
Oh.
So what are you feeling? Are you going to take the Nathan recommendation here?
I mean, I liked... So
you like rhythm, you say?
I do like rhythm, and as you're reading through those, I went and looked up some of them, and Music Racer it looks pretty cool. I've never played Kentucky Route Zero.
Were you going to play it already, though?
No.
Okay.
Fair. And I don't even know if I'm going to pick it, but...
My thing is, I've heard for years that I need to play this game, and I've always been that lame guy who's like, I will wait till it's fully done. And now that it's fully done, I'm in.
Wait, Kevin, what's this? The Inner Friend?
This is the Inner Friend so far.
Why is it Metroid?
Because it's about to get fucking real. See, look it.
Is this legal?
You know what, Bless? You are really concerned about being a narc. You know what I mean?
I'm just trying to.
If nobody narcs on
rights.
Foxy Lane 2, we get Foxy Lane 3.
Trying to make sure people. This looks like a Life is Strange, except stranger.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Up until the Inner Friend came out of him.
Yeah, when the Inner Friend left, that's when I was like, okay, maybe not. Well, actually, the friend did leave in Life is Strange also, so. It's prequel spoilers.
No adult. We're watching the Inner Friend trailer here. Are you a horror guy? Because it seems like a horror game. Yeah,
Not really.
When you got wheelchairs floating in the air and one of them turns upside down, that's a horror game. As you dive into your subconscious mind. I probably shouldn't say anything. These guys were in the showcase, though. So
For the Inner Friend?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I will say that, whoa, that guy's got no penis.
That was almost dire. That was almost a...
That's almost a copyright strike. We're taking off the air forever. That's a butt.
Yeah, probably good.
So what I'll tell you about it is, obviously, they're in the showcase. That means I thought the game looked good enough there. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I understand. More sirens are coming for us, by the way.
Did you beat Coffee Talk, or are you still playing it?
I'm still playing Coffee Talk, which I don't know how that works. You tell me. I guess I was interested enough to play it, so I'm disqualified from choosing it, right?
Oh yeah, you're disqualified.
Okay.
But I'm.
Oh,
looking
you might
for
steal
me.
from me. Okay.
I appreciate
that
game. Sounds pretty cool. Autobahn Police Simulator 2. Wow.
Autobahn Police Simulator 2's description is so bad that I
is.
really want to see what it looks like.
I know that's my thing too. Is I want to see.
Kevin, can you find me a trailer for Autobahn Simulator 2? Start your even more exciting career as law enforcer on Europe's fastest road now. Your adventure begins right in the police station where colleagues are present too. Over the course of the game, you can further develop the station and gain access to new opportunities and missions this way.
Oh,
fuck.
this is different from what I thought it was going to be.
Autobahn Police Simulator 2. First Look English has 82,000 views.
Give
me a jump. This is the Northern Alex we're looking at. Looks like Northern Alex had a thing to it.
Oh yeah, and he's going to start talking.
Yeah, we don't want that. Whoa.
Whoa. Holy cow.
Wow, if you're an audio listener, you owe it to yourself to jump to this part of the podcast. We're seeing through someone's head, it looks like in a cutscene. A person's talking to us and animating, not lifelike. Not lifelike. It's rough. And then there's a little map down in the corner. I think that's.
No, I think that's the Let's Play.
They're playing the game, yeah.
Yeah, you might want to mute it too, because they're talking. We
don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
they could say anything. Okay, I'm not gonna pick that one because that looks miserable.
Smart. Yeah,
I think I'm leaning. My thing is, I wanted to look up gameplay for this. Wow, this looks terrible. Like, no offense to the people who worked on this.
I mean, they know.
Wow. But I was also interested in Shadow of the Ronin, but I looked it up and all I could find was Lego stuff, like Lego Ninjago stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to take the chance on that. I think I'm probably gonna go Music Racer. I'm probably gonna take the advice of that person who wrote in. Yeah, I think I'm gonna commit to it. Music Racer.
You doing the Music Racer?
Yeah.
All right, Kevin. I'm gonna send you to Assets, Milo's Quest trailer here. All right. Because now we're in a dilemma.
Is there one you're Ryan?
I mean, like, it's a dog and he's got a magical bone that does something bad, right?
Like, look how cool Music Racer
Let me
looks.
see Music Racer, yeah. So if you're... Oh, wow.
Yo, I made the right choice.
Oh,
This
fuck,
looks awesome.
yeah. No, you made the real right choice. Yeah, okay. If you're at home, if you're driving your car,
Yeah.
it's like a...
You're going left to
This
right.
is amazing. This is 100% what you should... It's a game where he's driving around, hitting the beats, and it's picking up stuff and making music. And he's hitting
Man.
poles. That's bad. He shouldn't hit the pole that much.
We'll see how that where that ends on the list, because that might be the one that takes it over Darwin Project, but we'll see.
Now, I've sent Kevin the Milo's quest thing. And so here's what I want you to know. Milo's on a quest. Look at him, a little cute dog. Makes me think of Porty, right? He's getting some bones out of bushes. Looks like he can spend the bones to get stuff. Arf, I need a golden key to open this chest. There's the bad skull guy that he was talking about earlier. There's Milo getting mad at him. Battle against ghosts. Who doesn't want that?
This looks cute. This looks really cute. I play this game.
You would not play this.
I think I would play it.
I don't think you would play this
on handheld.
It looks like what? It's Zelda meets I'm a dog.
Yeah, no, I think that's the
If
thing.
you're an audio listener, it's a it's a Technicolor Zelda.
Yeah, like top-down Zelda looking like game. They're like Boo looking creatures from like Mario that are the enemies, but they're cuter than Boo.
Battle against big bosses.
Honestly, dude, this game looks pretty cool.
Now here's what I'm gonna tell you as 100% person. I'm Greg Miller. I'm as real as they come. Pause it.
100% person.
You know what I mean? You can actually, if you want, all right, show it to everybody.
Oh, it's on Vita too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's a Ratalika game.
Oh.
Which means it will be an easy, cheap trophy list. I will put it to you guys. I'm gonna say, I would either I would have done that, and I would have done it with no shame today if I hadn't had to step in and do the last one, the Foxy Land 2.
Yeah.
Foxy Land 2 wasn't my pick. Remember, I said I would play it. So hold on, I'm gonna put it to a vote of Kevin and the one and only Blessing Eddie Jr. to decide. Okay.
I'm fine with it. I say you do it. Like I have no problem.
There's not even a vote yet. I was gonna give you a choice. I'm sorry.
Oh, choice. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that's a
Pro
different thing.
deer hunting. Do it, you coward.
Do it.
Pro deer hunting.
Pro deer hunting.
Based alone on that looks so terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's what you guys want, you're gonna find a trailer for pro deer hunting.
that is an unfortunate graphic. Pro deer hunting.
That is an unfortunate graphic.
It's gonna look like any other hunting game. I bet.
Well, first off, it already looks better than I thought it would. Oh no, that's the hunter. That's not it at all. No.
I was gonna say. I was like, oh.
I was like, fuck the hunter. When you can't find pro deer hunting, that's the #1 sign of trouble's afoot. So I'll put it up. Milo's Quest is one of my picks.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I'll put it up against is It Came From Space and ate our brains.
That was another one I was looking at. I looked up the trailer for it.
If you forget a merciless alien species that feeds on human brains, has invaded Earth, who can stand up to them? You, obviously. Save the world, or at least yourself. Send aliens to oblivion in this unique top-down arcade shooter where hordes of enemies are trying to corner you and get inside your skull.
My personal tastes say Milo's Quest, but I will say It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains has a unique look and style to it.
Game world, with everybody living quietly, peacefully, and with their brains right where they should be. But this world is coming to an end. Wait, there's a hero who will save us all. Or maybe
So we got
two
some
of them.
shooting, we got some shooting.
No.
Oh, 4 players.
4 heroes. The brain
Okay.
you used all your life.
Right? Like this looks like
Yeah, it's a
looks-
shmup, right?
yeah,
or,
it's
well,
a-
not a shmup technically, but
Sometimes.
Is it not a
twin
shmup?
stick shooter
Twin
probably.
stick, yeah.
Twin stick
Time
shooter. It
to
looks like
use it
yeah.
before they
very
eat it.
stylized, cartoony, I guess. Dead Nation.
but you're playing as like block characters.
Yeah.
Lego looking.
All right. Again,
people.
what I'm gonna say is. Better massacre than a Tarantino movie. Henry, age 39. More squares than Minecraft. Brian, age 9. Bad, boring. Play, do not. Pick alien, no age.
That's funny.
That's cute. I'm gonna pick it because I already did a Ratalika thing. I don't want this just to be an excuse for me getting cheap trophies.
Okay.
All right. So Bless, what is your pick again?
My pick is Music Racer. Even though I might still play Milo's Quest just because I think that game looks
Oh yeah, no,
looks
I'm
fun.
gonna again. That's what I'm talking about. That's right there is what we're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna play Milo's Quest.
Okay.
I'm gonna get these trophies. Now, will I do it like now or a year from now? Who knows? But it's gonna happen. And then I'm doing It Came From Space and ate our brains. Unless I can do Patapon.
No.
Damn. Fucking tried there at the end, you know what I mean? Try to wiggle it in.
It's not even on the drop.
It's because it was breaking news, exclusives to us today. You know what I mean?
When does the drop come out?
Fridays.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Kevin. Blessing. Are you ready for this week's X's and O's?
Wow, we're only here? Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
Well, let's do it.
I thought you were about to say, like, are you ready to do, like, the whole Game of the Year from 2011 or whatever?
No. I was gonna say. Well, I'm glad you're ready, but first, a word from our sponsors. This episode of PS I Love You XOXO is brought to you by Postmates. My name's Greg Miller, and I use Postmates all the time. I deliver food to this office all the time. Sandwiches, chicken wings, pizzas, you name it. I get it here. I get it at home because I enjoy food so much. But then most of these places don't deliver. But Postmates, you don't have to worry about that. You send the person there, they get the food, they bring it right to you. It's beautiful. Postmates is your personal food delivery, grocery delivery, whatever kind of delivery service you want all year round. Anything you're craving, Postmates can deliver. They're the largest on-demand network in the U.S. and offer delivery from all the restaurants, grocery, and convenience stores and traditional retailers you could possibly want or need. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, Postmates will bring you what you need within the hour. No more trips to the store. You don't even have to know where the store is, which I never do. We travel so much, right, Kev? We do this all the time. Get stuff delivered to the house. Postmates will deliver it to you. Download the app on iOS and Android for free. Browse local restaurants and businesses and track your delivery in real time. For a limited time, Sorry. Kevin, I'm dying. For a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. To start free deliveries, download the app and use the code PSILOVEYOU, all one word. That's code PSILOVEYOU for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Anything you need, anytime you need it, Postmate it. Download Postmates and save with the code PSILOVEYOU. All right, time for this week's X's and O's. Blessing, as you know, this is where we go through and plunder the news of the week and find things that pertain to PlayStation. Talk about it here, all right? So here's one that I thought broke over the weekend that's interesting, and I wanted to propose a question to you, sir.
Hit me.
All right? Again, we talked about the impies at the top of the show.
Mm-hmm.
This cool Media Molecules doing this whole thing. They're doing their own awards show. That's amazing. They had a bunch of guest judges. They had a bunch of messages, video messages.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy, Ben, from this Mid-Max Media. Never heard of him. Don't know what that is.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. Never heard of him.
Not once.
Most importantly, they had the man himself, Shuhei Yoshida.
Oh,
to
did
end
they?
it. Yeah, at the very end, he was the one right before the final game. Or final word, I should say, right? And as Stephen Tailby over at Push Square reports, Shu came out and said something very interesting. This is the quote that Stephen wrote down from the thing we all watched. Quote, "You have seen these amazing creations in today's awards, but this is just the start. I've been saying that Dreams is going to be a 10-year project. Not 10 years in development, but 10 years after launch." Steven goes on to say, "It sounds as though Shu is expecting Dreams to be a game that will continue to grow for a long time." He continues, quote, "I cannot wait to see how this platform develops and how this tool will enable the future creators of video games that everybody will enjoy," end quote. Blessing Adeoye Jr. Shuhei Yoshida thinks that Dreams is a 10-year project. Do you?
I think it's hard for me to really go all the way with that idea.
Yeah.
Because we've heard that we've heard that said about multiple games, right? We've heard that said about Destiny. We've heard that said about like other games as a service games that I think like started off this generation that like, oh yeah, these are 10-year projects. I think Dreams, I think it could be, honestly. Like I don't doubt its longevity because I feel like I feel like this is the type of game that you would want to last, right? Especially like if it's going to be like we theorize, like if it's gonna kick off this generation, that's gonna be a game that transitions to PS5 and then just lives on during that generation. I could see Dreams' longevity carrying on and people creating for it consistently. Right. I think what it comes down to for Dreams is like the power of the tools, and I think the tools are pretty powerful from what we've seen. Yeah. And so I don't not have faith, that it could last for 10 years. Granted, 10 years is a long time. Yeah. But I could see it lasting for a bit, right? I could see it living for a bit, right? How long? we'll see. I don't know.
I mean, this is always the struggle with games where there is the, hey, somebody's making art, they're making this creation, they're putting their passion to life, and then there is the business side of it. And so I, of course, am a moron, and I don't have a business degree, and I don't actually work in video games outside of talking about them. What I struggle with is what that means when Shu says it's going to be, a 10-year project, that it has that long of legs. Because comparing it to Little Big Planet, right? Little Big Planet 1, 2008. Little Big Planet 2, 2011. Little Big Planet 3, granted not Media Molecule, but Little Big Planet 3, 2014, with PSP in 09 and Vita in 12 in there, right? Like, granted, levels continue to carry over from Little Big Planet, but does that count as 10 years of Little Big Planet? Would that be the same thing with Dreams being a game that has been in development the entirety? You're right, the entirety at Media Molecule of the PlayStation 4, to finally be getting it out here in the final breaths of the PlayStation 4.
Do you think there's a possibility of a Dreams 2 though? Because this feels so definitive in terms of what it is.
And that's the struggle that I can't wrap my head around, is that I hope, because again, I am like you, where I feel torn about Dreams. Where it is legitimately, I watch this shit, I watch the impies, I see all the stuff they put out, and I'm like, this is incredible. I want to be a part of this. I can't wait for the final version, right? I'm trying to hold off as long as I can to be part of that final thing. And I trust Media Molecule. I know how talented they are. I think they're all amazing. I would call a few of them friends, right? But then there's this business side of it, of how much money has PlayStation put into that Dreams, Media Molecule, over this generation, and what has the return been? And so then to get Dreams out into the hands, right, of these people, I would argue in a lot of ways the people who already have the early access, who have bought into that to be creators, are the most hardcore. They are literally the audience the Media Molecule dreams of. No pun intended. That these are the people who will be ride or die with us, making all sorts of cool shit, coming home from work or school and putting 12 hours into it, passing out, and then doing it all over again tomorrow. That's amazing. 3 years in, what's the return on investment on that? Little Big Planet, I think a lot of people lose sight of Little Big Planet. Even if it wouldn't have gone beyond Little Big Planet 1 or 2, there were microtransactions at the wazoo that I bought all of hey, guess what? We're putting out all the DC comic character packs and levels and shit. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm buying that. You know what I mean? That made sense. Is Dreams doing a similar thing? Because that doesn't make sense. Because it is build anything, do anything, put your voice in it, put music in it. It's this awesome creation suite, but it seems so wide and vast that I don't know how you charge again for a Dreams 2.
Do you feel like it's the type of game that does get a lot of post-release content as far as updates? Do you put in tools into Dreams?
Yes.
Do you know what type of tools though?
No, because I'm not that creative.
Yeah.
It will be something that the Dreams struggle is going to be, and this is where I really think you want to talk about. I always talk about the Tale of Two PlayStations, right? Where there was we're super weird and quirky, and we're putting out whatever PlayStation 3 generation or PlayStation 3, and then PlayStation 4 has over time, of course, become way more just AAA. This is what we're doing. Third parties carry the weight. Indies will come because they have to. Media Molecule Dreams is caught in between that. They are so, and I don't mean this as an insult, artsy fartsy. They are artists, and that's great, and that's rad, and I love talking to them and interviewing them, having them on shows and seeing what they've made. But does PlayStation see the value in that? And I think, honestly, having Herman at the head of Worldwide Studios, yes, he does. But even then, it goes up the chain of PlayStation and Sony, right? Of are you making money? Is this making money? We're spending so much on video games. Are we getting the return? And Naughty Dog makes a return, right? You assume with the success sales-wise of Days Gone, they made a return on investment. It's there somewhere that this is all checking out. But is Dreams going to? On February 14th, how is Dreams going to sell? Does it have and I'm not even talking about MPD. When we get to March, is that going to be in the top 10 PlayStation downloads off PSN?
Yeah, I want to believe that the way PlayStation sees Media Molecule and Dreams is similar to how maybe Ubisoft would see their UbiArt games, or EA would see their EA
Unravel and all that.
Those types of games, right? Where it is hey, we know this isn't going to sell a crazy amount of numbers, this isn't going to sell Uncharted numbers, or this isn't going to sell Horizon numbers, but it's diversifying our portfolio in a way that is really cool and really unique, and we're doing this because this is good for the industry, or this is good for the creativity of the industry. I would like to think that that's how PlayStation sees Media Molecule. And I don't know if they do or not, or if that's the thing they want to do. Granted, like with what you're saying, right, of like how PlayStation's kind of evolved over the last generation of them going from like, let's put out
the last
Tearaway,
guy sounds like
or
a great idea.
Yeah, right. Or like
okay.
Up until now, where it's like they've been quiet and they're about to put out Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima and Iron Man VR and projects that are going to carry forward their platforms in very specific ways. In like the reason why I asked the question about like post-launch support is because like I want to know, what is Media Molecule going forward after Dreams, right? After they launch Dreams, do they go into a new project, like a new game, or is it all hands on deck? We are supporting Dreams indefinitely, and then we'll pick up a new project later on. Like, and what is the idea?
And that's where it gets so fascinating, because again, I think, and we're not game developers, we don't understand what's going on. I feel like with the infrastructure and the way we've been talked about of what PlayStation 5 is, again, I think Dreams is just a PlayStation 5 game, and it's backwards compatible. But I mean, I think they are very clear that as they move there, it's there. It's PlayStation 5.
I don't think you call it a 10-year game without it being a PS5 game.
And so then it gets really fascinating of, okay, we have this thing, and can they make a marketplace in there to sell stuff and take cuts? Can they be an Epic store? And I don't mean, let me draw that back. I don't mean Epic Game Store like selling you the final product. I mean like,
can they be like a marketplace?
The engine. Can they? Yeah, where it's like you're making something, and rather than just give it away, you are charging me for this pristine. And we get this whole thing of like, obviously you can't sell me a Superman, but you could sell me a tree, right, in Dreams or something like that level. And then in the same breath, can you do the same thing with a level where it, like you, and maybe not us as we share each other's stuff, riff on each other's stuff, and so it's like I'm selling a level that Andy made, but I've done something too. I'm promoting it better and I'm selling it. Like that doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. But what about like what we've talked about before, where okay, cool, there's a Dreams drop every year, drop distance every year. Dreams gets an update that is a new pack of levels for Media Molecule that you have to buy, or the Creators Pack, where it is that we brought in. And I know it'll never happen, but we brought in Kojima and Tim Schafer and Cory Barlog, and they've made games, and we'd like to sell them to you for $5, right? Like,
I feel like at a certain point that stuff gets super complicated, though, in a way where like if you want to facilitate a marketplace between users, that can probably get very messy in terms of figuring out how to monetize things and also how to like do this, like get around like legal stuff in terms of like selling levels and allowing users to do all that in a way where I feel like the solution is probably just to make Dreams a pack-in for the PS5 and have it live on that way, to where now every single person who has a next-gen console owns Dreams and can mess with Dreams and can go in there, right? And I think like instead of doing like the packs on the player side where you're buying packs of levels, you're then buying, as a creator, you're buying packs for creator tools where it's like, okay, here's I don't know, man, a ray tracing tool or whatever, right? Where it's like, oh, now you can mess with like ray tracing in your levels.
But I hear you and I agree with you. And even as we talk about my ideas and your ideas, none of them sound congruent with what Media Molecule is and what Dreams is, right? Dreams is supposed to be this open platform where you all go do stuff.
How did Little Big Planet ever monetize in a way?
Like I was talking about, like they did officially licensed packs and levels.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I bought DC stuff. I bought Uncharted stuff. Like I bought all sorts of stuff.
Oh, then I might be way off then.
But it's the thing of like that would happen. And I guess maybe we're being. Hold on one second. PS3, Little Big Planet, DC Comics. They called them premium. They called them premium level packs, and they were level kits. They had all sorts of stuff, and they had costumes. They had level. Yeah, DC or Little Big Planet 2, DC Comics premium level kit. Join the Justice League and save the universe. Save the universe. The Justice League has been captured. Lex Luthor and blah 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 blah. Download this, and you'll get original superhero story plus all these goodies, which was hero cape, wall jump, and invisible materials, 5 superhero theme levels, 2 superhero themes, mini games, 29 objects, 29 materials, 20 objects, 41 decorations, 179 stickers.
Okay.
Blah 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 blah.
So
that was $6.99.
It takes like a combination of what we're saying of like they're selling in like creator tools and actual levels that showcase those tools.
Yeah.
Which I think makes sense in that context. Like Dreams makes it a bit difficult because you can't necessarily sell like if you're going to sell a DC level pack in Dreams, then you are just making Superman levels. Like you can't make Superman themed Little Big Planet levels in Dreams because Dreams is more so from the ground up in a way. Whereas I feel like if you're selling tools and then selling level packs in order to showcase those tools makes sense. I understand how that works, and I think they can maybe figure out in Dreams how to make that work. I think it'd be harder with the licensing stuff, but I think that at the very beginning, at least, they could do original stuff of like, yeah, we've created a new tool that is, making it easier for you to program X thing, and here are different ways in which we've implemented it. In like the way that Mario Maker, they just added like the whole Zelda thing, or you can play as Link in levels, and that changes the game mechanically. And I can't remember, and I don't think actually that they had packs of levels to go with that update, but Dreams in theory could do that.
Yeah, but it's you hit the nail on the head. And for the record, I believe that I've interviewed Alex from Media Molecule about this, and years and years and years ago, where I mentioned something about microtransactions and packs, and he said yes. But I haven't heard anything, and I just did a quick Google search. I didn't see anything either. But you nail it so much of like, it is no longer, hey, here's the DC level pack, and there's some levels to play, and now you can go put Sackboy in a Superman costume. Mm-hmm. Like, that's easy, right? You make a good point of, it's not that anymore. It is like, also, I just want to paint. I just want to do. I just need VO. Can you give me Christopher Reeve? Like
there's so many different things you can do with Dreams that it's harder. Like, people aren't just making levels. You know, people are making like songs. People are making movies. People are making paintings. People are in VR sculpting, right? And even within the sphere of people that are just making games, there are limitless amounts of games that people are making, like types of games, right? So you have like JRPGs that people are making. You have platformers. You have 3D platformers. You have action games, shooters. Like, it's hard to really.
What are you gonna do with that, right?
Yeah, like what are you gonna curate so you can package it up and sell it to a creator?
Yeah.
So maybe even going the levels route in that case, or like going the individual like game packs route in that case might make it easier. But even then, like, it's difficult. Like, why would I buy a game pack when I can just play from?
Because again, like, we can't. I feel like it's always this weird thing when we talk about Dreams on this show, because it is very much us stumping for how amazing it is, and then also in the same breath being like, I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think like the thing is, like, we know how impressive it is. Like, we've played with it. We've seen the potential that it has, and even I feel like anybody can just go and scroll through the created stuff in Dreams and be like, oh yeah, this stuff looks incredible. Like, I can't believe people are making these things. Like, even when the early access thing first launched, right, we saw people making like Resident Evil and PT in different recreations of games that we recognized, right, or at least concepts of those, work in progress versions of those, right? Like, even with that, right, like, it's very, like, Dreams is super impressive and super cool, and technology wise, like, every time I see something in it or see something cool in it, it kind of blows my mind. But it always comes back to like, okay, cool, how does this do commercially? How does it sell?
Yeah.
And it's hard to really make that argument for it. But like, it sucks because you don't want something selling to be the reason why it can exist. Like, this thing, to say that this thing shouldn't exist because it can't sell, kind of sucks. But that's also kind of the reality of.
But that's not even my question. I don't even know if that's the question, right? Like, exists. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. The question becomes, is it going to be? I think the same thing I keep having conversations with when I talk about Dreams with people is, oh yeah, it looks really cool. I don't know if I believe in it, like, in terms of it being a product. So to have Shu be like, he thinks it's a 10-year project is the most bullish thing I've heard about it. In a world of people sitting there being like, yeah, it looks awesome. Is anybody going to buy it? Is anybody going to care about it? Is this going to break outside of just the people who listen to podcasts and hang out?
Which is why I come back to, like, I think it has to be packaged to the PS5. I don't know if they're going to do that. I kind of don't have faith that they're going to do that, but
that'd be awesome.
I think that'd be a bold and great move for
the Dreams. Best thing they could do is give some kind of version of it that's on whatever their new XMB is. It's there when you turn on it's already installed. It's already there. It's limited. Yeah, I love, like, I don't know if you can just play. You can just download.
You can only play. You can't create.
It's basically like exactly. There'd be a bunch of different things to be like, no, try this shit and see it. And I think that'd be really great for it. But who knows?
Who knows?
Here in the X's and O's, I want to continue. Another story from last week was PlayStation has the highest customer brand loyalty. You had this one on Games Daily.
Yes.
You had it from Aran study at the 6th Access. Best CEO company study. They surveyed basically a little over 1,000 people across different generations and had a high margin of error. But what they came up with was, according to Aran, when it came to video games, 40.7% of responders were loyal to PlayStation, 31 to Xbox, and 30.4 to Nintendo. The survey then lumped gaming PC brands and PC laptop brands under one umbrella, splitting them at 14.7% and 8.6% respectively. In terms of the new generation of consoles, a third of respondents want to buy the PS5, while a quarter want the Xbox Series X. 8% said they would buy both machines. The question I have for you, Blessing, is this surprising?
No. I mean, I feel like this lines up with sales numbers. And so, like, when you look at how many people have PS4s out there versus how many people have Switches and how many people have Xboxes, I feel like this is the natural kind of conclusion you come down to if you're polling people on based on where their loyalties lie. I don't really know if this... See, this is a hard one for me to talk about even on KFGD when we were talking about it, because I was just like, I don't know what the discussion is here.
No,
this seems more reflective of the reality of, oh yeah, most people have PlayStations if you're looking at consoles. And so, like, if I was talking about like people who are most dedicated to their console, I feel like I could make the argument for Nintendo, because they're the most unique. And so, like, because they have more history there. So, like, I can look at Nintendo fans and be like, hey, well, people really love Mario, people love Zelda, people love those Nintendo franchises in a way that is hard to really compare that to people who are with other consoles and franchises within those consoles. But, you know, I think like sheer numbers wise of allegiances, I think, this makes sense.
For me, the thing, I don't find it surprising either, but it is interesting when you sit there and you have that breath after it and look at the numbers and think about it, and it is, oh wow, Nintendo's so low. Because I do think that in terms of nostalgia, no one in the video game industry does it better than Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
everybody has their moments of whatever Nintendo console was, but unwrapping it at the holidays and having it and that be your thing, and Mario and yada yada yada. But that's nostalgia versus what's current, and I think currently, we were just talking about this with Patapon during the first impressions you did with me, where you're like, why this? Why bring this back? And it's that thing that PlayStation's been around long enough that it has nostalgia, but it's actually just memory. Whereas nostalgia for Nintendo is a different thing of like this lineage and this history and this family and like the stories of Iwata and Miyamoto and all these different things. Whereas PlayStation still feels modern. Like, you're a part of that story still, whereas Nintendo's so entrenched already.
I think it's also a thing of PlayStation feels like it feels like a console you have to have in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas like Switch for a lot of people is a secondary console. I have, like, if I had to choose one console to buy, I would probably choose a PlayStation over a Switch, just because I know all my third parties coming there. I know I can get most of the games I want to play there, right? And then I get a Switch because I want to play Mario and Zelda and like a lot of the exclusives that Nintendo has on there. But yeah, like there's a like history there with Nintendo as far as like the games they have that, it's hard to stack up against. But yeah, when you look at PlayStation, like PlayStation versus Xbox versus Nintendo, as far as lineage versus how they stack up in modern day, then PlayStation has kind of both those things, right? They have, you can look back at PS1 and look back at Crash and Spyro and Metal Gear Solid and the history there, but you can also look at PlayStation today and be like, okay, yeah, like it feels like it almost feels like the default console, right? Where you can come here to play your Call of Duties or your third parties, but also like you have your big exclusives with God of War and Last of Us and all these different things.
Yeah, and I think that's the other big thing right now, and this is not a knock against Nintendo and what we're talking about, but I think also PlayStation's cool. Like, their branding is cool. They get that in a different way. Like, like my Mario Christmas sweater is a Christmas sweater with Mario's face on it, and the PlayStation's one is more embedded with the sacred symbols and all these different things. Even looking at like this, like our PS I Love You background, right, with all the colors and the thing and all the different consoles and units, like it's cool. And there's this, I don't know, when I look at Insert Coin, right, I go there and I look at their PlayStation shirts and jackets and everything else. It's like, this is cool. This is a brand I would wear outside of, granted, of course, Greg Miller would wear it, but I just mean like outside of a Luigi shirt.
Yeah. That said, I feel like there's a certain, like in the way in which you're saying PlayStation is cool, I think there is a certain, like, I don't know what the word is for Nintendo, but there is a word there. I don't know if it's cute or like,
no,
like there's a different sphere of, I could see somebody rocking a Nintendo sweatshirt outside, and I'm
Totally.
like, hey, Nintendo, right? Whereas like if I see somebody rocking an Aloy shirt, I'm probably gonna be more like, oh snap, like they really like Horizon Zero Dawn. They're wearing an Aloy shirt, right? Well, like I feel like Zelda and Mario and Pokemon and all those different franchises under Nintendo are almost more ubiquitous in a way that like there's two different words for it, but I understand what you're saying as far as like PlayStation.
See, but even
cool.
what you're saying, I think takes it in an interesting way because you jumped to Aloy. I jumped to just straight up
like a PlayStation symbol.
logo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The PlayStation logo, those PlayStation Letterman jackets they did, where it's like there's something classic modern about that, and in terms of us being huge dorks, cool about it.
Like, what's the Mass Effect thing that you see?
N7.
N7, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's almost more natural to see, or somebody wearing
100%.
like an Aperture Laboratories like shirt, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I guess that's less so PlayStation branding and more so like these are the games that you play on PlayStation that you probably wouldn't play on Nintendo.
Sure.
But yeah, like it's hard to really compare brand loyalty because I feel like at a certain point it's apples and oranges to how we treat different platforms. You know, because I could even I feel like I could also make an argument for Xbox in here, where like
Spoilers, you couldn't.
I have
When you're wearing the Master Chief helmet walking around.
yeah, but like Master Chief, I feel like is
Patapon more iconic than Master Chief. I said it.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Mission
but
accomplished,
hey, that's
everybody.
Greg Miller.
Mission
Tweet at him
accomplished.
at GameOverGreg on Twitter. No, but like I feel like Master Chief in terms of being recognized, it's hard for me to really put up a PlayStation mascot against Master Chief. If like I saw two people wearing shirts on the street and me being like, oh yeah, like it's this guy. I feel like Master Chief is very recognizable.
I agree.
In a way that like, you know, I'm not necessarily going to make the argument for brand loyalty, but I think I feel like Xbox fans are definitely like out here. Like they're a thing for sure.
No, I'm not taking away from that. But again, I think I would fall back on and I know you're right, and I know a lot of people cry out for Drake or Sackboy or whatever. I also am with you that I think Master Chief is so iconic in terms of like you look at him, you know it's Xbox, you know this is the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's been how many times have I run into our friend Ty Root? I'm like, are you cosplaying as Nathan Drake right now? He's not. I'm just wearing a Henley. I'm like, got it. Sorry, you're very attractive. There's that, but then again, I think the counter argument is that I think PlayStation though, like just doing the PS1 red, green, blue symbol, right? Like,
yeah,
that's what it's all about.
For sure.
Okay. Well, no blue. You know what I mean? Blessing. Well, there's blue in it.
Okay.
Remember it on the thing. It's the it doesn't matter. Blessing. We're gonna jump over to a returning segment that we missed last week because we were so inundated with the Fantasy League, of course.
Yes.
PlayStation's greatest hits. For 10 episodes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going through and doing a segment talking about the PlayStation Game of the Year for each one of the decades. So far, we've done 2010. Blessing picked Heavy Rain. I picked Peace Walker. We did 2011. I picked Uncharted 3. Blessing picked Portal 2. Now, it's time for 2012. Blessing, you will go first, but before you do, I'll lean up the competition of what we had, all right? This is the year of Journey, The Unfinished Swan, The Walking Dead Season 1, Spec Ops: The Line, motherfucker, Dishonored, Borderlands 2, Mass Effect 3, Persona 4 Golden, Sound Shapes, along with so many more.
Sound Shapes.
Right? Remember Sound Shapes?
That's a deep cut.
It is a deep cut.
Yeah.
Welcome to PS I Love You XOXO.
That's like the beginning of PS4 generation of like, I'm going to get a platinum on all these platforms. On my PS3, on PS4, and my
Hell yeah.
Vita. And that game was pretty good.
It was really good, right? Not pretty good.
My pick is Persona 4 Golden for 2012.
Why?
It really hit me when I played that game. If I'm talking about like just the game design in general, like that was the first time I played a game like that where it was like, all right, it's a JRPG, but half of it is like a visual novel where you're managing relationships and managing like all this different stuff going on in your small town in Japan. And the other half of it is a dungeon crawler where you're going through these procedurally generated levels and fighting these demon monsters and progressing that way.
As one does.
As one does, right? And from a game design perspective, I thought that was really cool and really fun and really impressive and worked way better than it should have. And I know there have been Persona games before this, but this is the first one I played. But then, yeah, when you look at when you look at Persona 4 Golden on a story level, I feel like those characters are very easy to kind of connect to and fall in love with.
Of course.
Like, you know, I still remember Chie's whole storyline of her like learning martial arts and wanting to be tough and all this stuff, right? Along with Naoto and
Rize.
Yeah, Rise is awesome. What's the one that wears red though? Starts with a Y?
Yukiko.
Yukiko. Yes, I freaking loved Yukiko. All those characters I feel like were done super well, and I feel like the core message in it as far as like what it's trying to be about and what it's trying to convey, the whole message of being able to face yourself and face acknowledge your own faults, or like not necessarily like bury the things that are wrong with you, but be able to face them head on and kind of take that all in. I thought it was super powerful and really well done. And yeah, like overall, like this was the game that probably made it worth it buying a Vita for me.
Hell
like,
yeah.
I this is the first game that I really like dove into on Vita, and after I beat the game, I was like, worth it. Like buying a Vita was 100% worth it just to play this game. And so that's it for me. Persona 4 Golden.
It's the first time on this we agree. I put Persona 4 Golden as well.
Nice.
It's interesting to look back at this because I think, especially now when you're talking about the games of the decade, right? And you're going this far back and having these conversations, and hindsight's 2020, right? Because I'm the guy who argued and won, right? That I was like, the Vita game of the year for 2012 is Little Big Planet. Because it was like, oh, there's an unlimited amount of levels coming. Like, and it is Little Big Planet on the go. It's a great game. But it was that thing of, to get to this point now and have this conversation with you and start thinking about what 2012 game of the decade is, right? Or for, 2012 game is. I was like, oh, Journey. Well, Journey, I remember when we gave Journey Game of the Year at IGN and what a big deal that was. But then it's that thing of, I love Persona 4 Golden. I reviewed Persona 4 Golden. I adore Persona 4 Golden. And what do people still talk about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know my office is skewed, obviously, because Barrett's here and Joey's here, and they're talking about Persona 5 all the time, and I'm yelling about Persona 4 Golden, and it's all these different things. But I mean, outside of that, just in the PlayStation ecosystem, when you think about cosplay and you think about characters and you think about what you're talking about, like the reason to own a Vita, the fact that this is the game that so many people still are playing on Vita. I still get tweets of people playing this game on Vita, being a part of this. Like, this game is so special.
There's something in. I feel like every now and then I play a game that has something special about it that I can't necessarily put my finger on. And Persona 4 Golden, I feel like definitely has that, where like by the time I finished it and put it away, like I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
And even today I think about it very fondly, right? And it could be a combination of things. Like the soundtrack is also probably my favorite soundtrack ever made. In Persona 4 Golden, like those songs are incredible. They slap, right? The style of it, like the visual, like all the yellows and I guess golds that the game kind of implements in its UI, and the way everything kind of comes together. Like Persona 5 obviously capitalizes on all of that and kind of takes it even further. But I think Persona 4 does a good job of being super colorful in a way that fits its style and really establishes what that style is and goes all the way with it. And yeah, like this game, I talked about this actually on one of the post shows. I think it was the first post show we did for PS4 XOXO. I did drink a lot of champagne.
No, me too. See, what I was driving at is that the P is red, and it doesn't matter. I was talking about the colors. It doesn't matter.
I still don't understand what you're talking about.
No, literally, that's the champagne. Don't worry.
Okay. But what was I saying? Oh,
doesn't matter. Patapon 2,
Persona
everybody.
4 Golden soundtrack. Oh, on the first post show we did for PSLV XOXO, I was talking about how, like, this game, I played this game in like 2016, and it was the year that I had moved from my hometown in Illinois to Seattle, and I got a job in Seattle, and I was taking the bus every day, and I played this game almost entirely on the bus to and from work, and that really hit home with me because Persona 4. As much as this game is about, it's also about like it's mainly about a kid who comes to a new town and is trying to settle in and get to know people and make friends and all this stuff, right? And gets caught up in all this stuff, right? But like for me, being in a place where I was new to Seattle, I was having like some struggles of my own because like I was kind of, I don't want to make it dramatic, like I was lost at the time, but like I had like some personal struggles I was going through. This game, I feel like, does such a good job of dealing with those themes and being like, oh yeah, like you're allowed to have issues. You're allowed to go through these issues, right?
Yeah.
And like what's more important is that you face them head on, as opposed to acting like they don't exist or opposed to like burying them down,
Right.
And all those things kind of fed into each other to where I was like playing this game on the bus and I was like, man, this game is like really good, and I couldn't get
Speaking to
enough
me
of
right
it.
now.
Yeah, speaking to me right now. And so, yeah, Persona 4 Golden, easily my number one. I can't even like looking at this list. Like, there's a lot of other incredible games, but I can't see one that I would say even comes close to Persona 4 Golden for me.
No, and that's the thing, and I think that's hindsight's 2020. And you talk about the impact that games had on people, the impact it's had on the industry, the fact that again, I think this gets lost all the time that it's not even a remaster, right? It's a re-release of the PS2 game. It's a souped-up version of this PS2 game that I remember Jeff Haynes at again the same way he turned me on to Patapon, turned me on to Persona with Persona 3, and I remember loving Persona 3 so much that I was like, oh man, I don't know if another one can do it. And playing this one, I was like, holy shit.
When are we gonna get Persona 3 on modern platforms? That's the one I want because I've never played Persona 3.
Huh.
I really want to play Persona 3, but there's not really a good way to play it because I don't have a PS2.
Playing a PSP.
I've heard bad things about the PSP version. I've heard people don't like that version.
People are monsters. All right, can I say that right now? Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for giving me permission to say people are monsters. I appreciate you. You're not a monster, Kevin. Kevin wants to go home and watch Batman v Superman. Blessing.
Yes,
Are you ready for the PSN profile of the week?
I am.
We ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. You can, of course, ask us questions, get the show ad-free, get the show with the post-show, have a great time. But more importantly, we ask you to submit your PSN profile for judgment. Today, Jim B submitted over on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. His PSN profile is GJXLO. Since both Greg and I have 118 platinums.
Oh, wow.
Check again, motherfucker. All right, I did some work over the weekend. It would be interesting to do a comparison. Love the show. Well, of course, using psnprofiles.com, the official site of spying on people's profiles. I went there and put it in. GJXLO. And what I'll first point out, of course, is that you can change your PSN name now. You don't need to be GJXLO.
It's a fine name.
Any longer. Is it? Is it, Blessing?
It probably has a personal meaning to them.
It
Like, what if that's
Jim B is what his name is. He's GJXLO.
What if that's like their like grandmother's initials or something?
There's a lot of initials for a grandma. So
I
so again, let's go. I jump immediately to your platinums. Let's see what you got. Your most recent platinum, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, March 2019. It was a while ago. We're coming up on a year since your last platinum, sir. Jim B. Then it was Spider-Man. Then MLB The Show 18. Not one I see often. Congratulations. Tacoma. Hell yeah. Donut County. Hell yeah. Super Destroy Not DX. Then Super Destroy Not DX. Hell yeah. Of course, doing the Vita PS4 trick. I like where your head's at. A Way Out. I have that. Kevin refused to get it with me.
Wait, you have that? A
yeah.
Way Out?
Oh yeah. Kevin and I did it, but Kevin didn't want the bad platinum, so he just doesn't have. I forget what trophy you skipped. There was something to do that you didn't do.
I logged out, did the thing, logged back in.
Ask Kevin for how many platinums you got, Kev?
I got no platinums.
Get
I didn't
one.
want that to be my
Disappointing.
first and only platinum.
Sure, that's fair. Okay.
It's okay though, Kevin. You don't need platinums. A Way Out, fun game.
Fun game. Oh yeah, I know. Kevin and I had a great time. Yeah, it wore thin, but we had fun.
Yeah.
And like I said,
feel
fuck
like
the
that game-
Oscars, so why not?
Like, I mean, people didn't hate on that game, but like, people didn't love that game either. I feel like that game deserved a little bit more praise than it ended
See, I
up
feel
getting.
it did the classic thing that indie games fuck up, I think, where it had a stellar first look, where that popped up. That was a Game Awards reveal, right? Kindoffunny.com/you're wrong.
It was an E3 reveal, but he came back up at the
Okay.
Game Awards because he was like drunk.
Yeah,
and
he
was,
fuck the
or
Oscars.
not drunk,
fuck the
but
Oscars.
well,
No, I think
he might have been
probably
drunk.
Yeah.
But
I
he
mean,
was, yeah,
we're
he
all
was-
drunk at the Game Awards. Let's
He was
be
saying
honest.
fuck the Oscars.
Anyways, regardless of where it was, the first time we saw that game, it looked, oh my God, this is incredible. Everybody loved Brothers. I didn't love Brothers. Everybody loved Brothers, so they were like ready for that. And then it was that thing where by the time we got it, it was like, oh, okay, cool. This is cool, but it's not as cool as that first look. If you have a fucking trailer that looks insane and amazing and all, you got to deliver. And you got to have that exact experience. And this just went on too long. That was
I don't
Kevin and
remember the
played forever.
trailer for A Way Out. Was it really that incredible?
It was the thing of them going back and forth and them playing split screen and doing the whole and we were like, holy shit, what's going on? And it didn't look anything like Brothers, which again, no offense, looked like what you'd think an indie game looks like.
Yeah, interesting.
You're not interested at all. You know what I mean? You just fucking say yours a drink. Then other platinums here. Detroit Become Human. Nier Automata.
Two great platinum.
Is Nier tough?
Tough?
A lot of work or no?
I have no idea. You can theoretically buy the platinum in that game. That was like the game that you could like spend currency on.
Yeah.
But like you had to have a lot of currency.
Yeah.
It wasn't like an easy thing.
Scrolling further down, Persona 5 on there.
Nice.
That's nothing to shake a stick at. You're all over that. Then A Man After My Own Heart, Energy Cycle on PS4, Energy Cycle on PS4, using the North American European tricks.
Nice.
Mr. Masagi, hell yeah. Danganronpa 2, okay, cool. Lara Croft Go, shout out to
Mr. Masagi. That sounds really familiar. Which one was that?
It's that weird game where you're like dating people or whatever, but it's just like text-based stuff you're like moving back and forth with.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's what you think. Batman, there's a Telltale one, and you knew it'd come up. Another Hitman, My Name is Mayo on PS4, My Name is Mayo on Vita, hell yeah. Heavy Rain's in there, another good one for you. Order 1886, good job on that. You make any more progress on playing that? You were talking about playing that, right?
The Order? No, I haven't started it. No.
Gotcha.
I'll probably get to Bloodborne before I get to Order.
Okay. I'm scrolling, trying to get all the way down. Oh, and there it is. First platinum of all time, Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Then second platinum, Trivial Pursuit. Third platinum, Infamous. Proud of you. I'm proud. These are good. You did good here. Oh man, then he did all the episodes of Back to the Future, which didn't have a platinum and sucked. Then they re-released it, and he did it again to get the platinum on that. Back to the Future didn't suck.
I really enjoyed.
Did you beat
game.
it?
Yeah.
Dude, Back to the Future episode 1 is amazing. And then they steadily go.
Is the ending a little upsetting?
Yes, because they break time.
Sure,
they
sure.
break the entire. It's in canon.
That's inevitable. That's right. Don't fuck with time.
Yeah, no, I agree. Don't fuck with time, but also don't fuck with Back to the Future. Oh, Legends of WrestleMania in here too. Ooh wee.
He's got the platinum in GTA 5, which is pretty impressive.
Oh, the Golden Abyss Plat's in here too. Well, I got to the sniper mission on Crushing, and I was like, "Fuck this. This is not worth it." Jim B, you have a terrible PSN name, but you have a very good trophy list. Everybody, go check out GJXLO. Send him a PSN message like, "Why?" Just why. You can change it to whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, that is PS I Love You XOXO episode 4. Remember, you should be part of the show over at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. If you're there right now, you can watch the exclusive post show we do each and every time. Plus, you get to enjoy the show ad-free. There wasn't ads this time, but there was Blessing going to the bathroom and me filling time with Kevin.
Wait, was there not ads?
Well, there were, but I don't read them during the episode. I read 'em.
Like for the patrons.
So like the patrons right now,
Gotcha.
you can see what happens.
Gotcha.
And if you don't, then you just don't know. You'll never know. Because if you go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames or youtube.com, podcast services around the globe, you get the show, but it has ads. No post-show. You can't watch it live like so many people are as well. Blessing. This is a fun one.
It was.
I'm glad you were here to celebrate with me.
A lot of champagne today.
Patapon. I know. It
Started
feels
at
good,
10
doesn't it?
a.m.
I got more to film too today. Got to sober up. Kevin, I'm going to need 20 cups of coffee. Thank you very
Same.
much. No, you can keep drinking. You got nothing to do.
I got to drive home.
No, we'll Uber you home. It'll be fine. You'll have fun. You have some shrimp Alfredo.
When is street cleaning? That's Wednesday, right? Okay, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah.
That's my boy. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next Tuesday with a new episode of PS I Love You XOXO. But until then, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Now we're in the post-show party. Go pee. I got it. I can hit the buttons and stuff. What's up, chat? We're getting to see what you're saying over here. Michael Padron says, "Hey, Kevin, bring another bottle of champagne. Blessings."
Oh, no, it's fine.
Michael Padron says, "I also have 0
No,
platinums."
I'm good.
There's one that's open in the fridge.
Oh, bring the one that's open.
Toby Freeman says, "I spent Christmas/Boxing Day getting all the Life is Strange platinums."
Oh, that's
Good job
really cool.
there. Yeah.
What does it take to get a Life is Strange platinum? Do you have to like do all the different choices? Because I feel like that takes a
No,
while.
you complete the episodes, and then there's collectibles that you go back and you can collect.
Oh, okay.
And they do it really well. That's another. I know that like a lot of people. Well, I guess that a lot of people poo-poo easy trophy lists. This is a good one of like I feel so personal about my Life is Strange choices that I wouldn't want to go back and
that's
do all
my
the different
thing.
thing and have it matter. But I like the way that they do theirs, where it's like during the game I rarely ever find the collectible because I'm very much like in that zone of like I'm trying to get my brother here or I'm trying to take care of Chloe, and so I'm not like I need to go fucking look for whatever weird ass skull is going to be in this place.
Gotcha.
But after the fact, you can just go in there and you can do the save, and it'll be like, do you want to go into collectible mode, which doesn't affect your save, and then you can just go collect everything at the trophy. It's well done.
It's pretty cool.
PS Wii says we're partying tonight because we were talking about that. Hell yeah, we are. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Cameron Kennedy says, I didn't get a platinum in 2019, and I'm so disappointed. Not a ton of games for me last year, I found. Huh, that sucks. I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, I didn't get platinum last year either, which was a bummer because I usually go for a platinum a year. It's my goal. So maybe I'll get 2 this year. We'll see.
I see you looking at the old fantasy league over here.
I'm just seeing if there's been movement.
trying to drop a coin over there.
No, I'm just seeing if anything's changed.
I was definitely reading when last week's episode went up. I was looking through all the comments and seeing what people had were recommending. We didn't call out and like, should I go drop a buck on that? The amount of people today that are like, Greg, go drop money on Patapon. I'm like, we talked about this. We know how Patapon Remastered #1 did on Metacritic. Not well. I'm not going to go out there and do this, especially not knowing what's going to happen. Is your mic up?
You're in a post show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you're just chatting. I did a thumbnail.
Oh, come on over. Come here. We can talk about the thumbnail. How you doing?
I'm all right, man.
I missed you, man.
How you
I
doing?
really like this hoodie. When did you get this hoodie?
I just bought it on Amazon.
Cool.
It's very. It was like a fruit of the loom. Very cheap.
Nice.
Everybody else always sells boring ass colors, man.
Yeah, but this one,
I mean, I bought the salmon one last year, and I was like, I'm gonna commit to buying bright hoodies. I never did, but now we're making a resurgence. It's a 2020 year, new outlook.
We're proud of you, man.
Thanks, guys.
Kevin, did you get the champagne? The open bottle?
I'm pretty sure someone drank it. I'm not
Joey,
pointing any fingers.
Joey,
I'm not pointing
Joey.
any fingers. I didn't say that.
Unfortunate.
All right, so we're gonna workshop the thumbnail together, everybody. All right. Can't be Patapon because we've already had 2 thumbnails about Patapon. I think we.
Have
could
we
use-
really? Oh,
Yeah,
KFGD.
yeah. I was thinking we could do.
President Bush with a thumbs up, mission accomplished, but it's your face.
Again,
what I
we've
mean?
already done
It's-
enough of that.
but
I
it's-
hear you and I appreciate it.
Greg, it's subtle.
It is subtle. I do agree with that. I do agree with that.
It's
Yeah.
subtle.
I mean, we talked for a while about dreams.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Here's what I think we talked about. We talked for a while about GTA Online,
We did, yes.
dreams.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great conversation there when we got to X's and O's about dreams being a 10-year project, brand loyalty. I think it's either got to be dreams or it's got to be GTA 5. And I think at that point, GTA 5 is going to do better. No? Am I wrong?
Probably.
Is it? You think it's not even worth like arguing about it? We can frame it around dreams. It's a PlayStation show. People are gonna show up. It doesn't matter. Andy, what do you like?
Yeah, I feel like is
All right, we're doing dreams. Give me a dreams. Give me a dreams thing.
yeah. Is dreams 10
What is it? What y'all
like
say?
will
Are
it
there
last for
boners
10
in
years?
dreams?
Does dreams have the longevity for 10 years? Is essentially
Yeah,
the
we'll shorten that
conversation.
up a bit. Hold on.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
would be the
I mean, that-
title,
no,
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thumbnail word.
10 years of dreams. A decade of dreams. How long does dreams have?
This morning's KFGD said dreams come true.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Shoot.
yeah.
Make the thumb Greg and Blessing drinking.
That's not bad either.
Can Blessing get Kevin and Greg back into GTA
No, he
Online?
can't.
I'm trying to get Kevin into it.
10
Kevin,
years question mark. But
Play with
dream
me.
Stuff around it.
play with me, Kevin.
I
What are you up to tonight?
Watching 4 hours of fucking Batman.
I just finished.
You're lucky, man. You're fucking feeling it.
Did you
aren't
guys see
Did you get
Barrett's
it?
tweet
Martha is
last
his
night?
mom. Yeah, I did. I almost cried.
Barrett tweeted last night. He was like, "Oh, you know what, man? Batman v Superman is a good movie." And I was like, "Bro,
You said delete this tweet, nephew.
Yeah,
So dreams. You can put Shu in it too, because it's based on Shuhei's thing. Once I'm off here, I'll give the headline. You start with dreams and Shu. Go from there.
I talked about Doom Eternal also.
and then we've already done Doom stuff too, though.
True.
Right? First impressions already out there.
Coffee talk.
Coffee. No, we have too much Patapon content right now. It's a great time to be on.
It's a big moment in like history. You made something happen.
We're gonna
that
do a question.
arguably shouldn't have.
Your Slack was
Arguably
pretty
shit.
great over the weekend. So proud of you. This stupid game nobody cares about but you made it happen. I want to do a question, though, so we give something of quality here on the post show, okay? Jamie S. wrote in to patreon.com/kindafunnygames. And Kevin, there's a hyperlink in here if you can grab it for me. It's right after. It's the first thing in what reader mail would have been if we would have done it. What's good, Greg and Blessing? Last week, an image of what is supposedly the PlayStation 5 dev kit user interface was leaked on 4chan. The image is very similar to the PS4 UI in terms of layout, with only a few small changes that I noticed. Parentheses, like trophy progress appearing under the game listing when hovering. I'm personally not putting much stock in it, but what do you both think? Any chance this is real, and what can we expect for the PlayStation 5 launch? Is a tweaked PS4 UI the way to go, or were you hoping for something more extreme? What features are on your wish list for the UI? Kevin's. This is it. Yeah, Kevin's got it pulled up. It's. Okay. Oh, this is what I wanted. Hey, it's me on a one shot. How you doing? It's me, Greg. Yeah, this is it for sure, though. As you see, you have the sacred symbols coming off, being 3D, coming over the top of the XMB. I don't like live area. I'm going to keep saying XMB. And then, yeah, you got the trophies down there now, notifications, friends, a simplified crossbar up there, it looks like. Blessa, what's your take on it?
I don't necessarily buy that this is the UI. Like,
for sure, what I buy is that this could be the dev software.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Of like, all right, cool. We are not finished. We are not at all
like
locked in.
Where would they be at this point in terms of the final UI for what the PS5 is going to look like at launch?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think they'd really have that. Like, if like at the very
least.
I want to say very most, but like, you know, this could be like the alpha for what, like, you know, the UI could be like at the very like most, right? But I don't even know if it's that. Like, this could be like you said, it could be the dev kit UI. But even that, like, it's hard for me to believe things that were leaked on 4chan at this point.
Of course,
4chan is just like people just post things there.
So getting away from it, then what do you want out of it? Do you want a rebooted thing altogether? Do you want it to look just like a souped up PlayStation 4?
I want it to look way different from PS4 because I don't necessarily love the PS4 how the home screen looks currently. Like, my home screen runs kind of slow, you know, when I'm like going from icon to icon, especially when I click into like a certain thing in my library. Yeah, it feels like you know the loading screen where you see the sacred symbols and they're like spinning or whatever. Yeah, I feel like I get stuck in that for a while sometimes. And it can get kind of frustrating. So I'd like them to kind of shift away from that. I really like the simplicity of how the Switch UI looks. Granted, I think that I don't think that's PlayStation's vibe. No. Like, I feel like they like the idea of like, oh yeah, this is technology. We're gonna push the bounds of, you know, what you feel like you're experiencing here with the
Switch
PlayStation.
is too basic. I hate that I can't group things, that I have to scroll all the way over. It's based on what I've been playing. Yeah. I love PlayStation 4 right now in the way that I'm able to put folders together and be like, oh, this is for Extra Life. Like, at home, it's here's my games, here's my VR games, here's my cheap platinums.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy thing that you could implement on the Switch. I don't know why Nintendo hasn't done it, but I feel like visually, in terms of like the click between icons that you get with the Switch,
the tactile.
I feel like that's pretty satisfying in a way that the PS4 UI by now kind of feels old. Like, even going back to when I was on the PS3 for playing Peace Walker, I was like, this seems very snappy in a way. That
really?
Yeah,
dude. I've been the guy who's like, oh man, I loved the XMB on PlayStation 3. Yeah. Going back to it for the first time, I'm like, oof.
It does feel like, I think
it's not that it's not snappy.
Yeah, like my only complaint
with the exception of singing trophies
for the cross media bar is that like it feels empty in a way where it's like, oh yeah, there's nothing here.
A lot of wasted real estate, right?
Yeah, a lot of wasted real estate. But I do love how like clean and snappy it is visually. You know, like when you click left and right, it feels like it's snappy in a way where like moving left and right on the PlayStation 4 doesn't feel like
I mean, PlayStation 4, my favorite thing is when I'm in a game and I want to go check the trophies and I hit it and I go up to trophies, and just as I get to trophies, it freaks the fuck out and takes me back to games. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, this is clearly a default. My unit's bugged. And when I got the PlayStation 4 Pro and also started using, and it just happens everywhere. This is just how it is. Like, what a fucking stupid thing. Yeah. I think it's the normal thing where, like, I want it to look different than PlayStation 4. I get, if that was real, I'd be like, I don't love it, but I get why you're doing it. Of like, cool, this is just an iteration. We're just iterating like an iPhone. This is, you know, how we want everything to look. But mainly, and what I like in that photo, if you can bring it back up, Kev, is the idea that there is fat cut away from it. And granted, again, this is devs only, but like, look at it. It's like, look at the top, notification and friends, right? There isn't a million icons up there, and then. Yeah, I know. I'm hyperbolizing here. Yeah, so. But even to the other side, it's the store, right? Like, I don't use Live Area ever. Like, I use my friends list to see what people are playing, but I don't go to Live Area to see what trophy you got or what.
Is Live Area the thing that's usually all the way to the left, or what?
Yeah, yeah. And so it's like, okay, cool, whatever. I would be down for this with more of the, hey, here's where my libraries are and what I'm putting up. I hate the fact still that they put all the apps like Netflix and Amazon.
Like,
into
you
that.
don't like that they put that all in one thing?
No, because it just like I liked it better when I only like I'd rather than be like games where I have them in a folder where I go to it rather than click into that thing. It loads, then I click into what I want.
That's like my main
then
issue is the loading.
Yeah,
Like,
everything
I
needs to
can't
go.
Stand it, and so I don't. And yeah, if they could fix that, that'd be awesome. And that'll probably be fixed with a solid state drive.
They better, Kevin. You know what I mean?
Wait, what did you say, Kevin?
They're gonna. He said.
Oh yeah, I mean the
Solid-state drive.
solid state drive, right? And so like if that goes away, awesome. But yeah, it's tough talking about this too because I feel like at a certain point, like, are you changing things just to change them, or are you
Just to
changing
fuck
them
with it,
like at a certain point is this the best that it can be really? Which
I don't either.
I don't know.
We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your post show for PS I Love You XOXO. Remember, it was that the P is all red. And
Okay,
then
I meant to ask you
the
about that.
S is the multiple colors. And then as soon as I said no blue, I was like, well, I mean, and then we were too deep, and I'm like, you know what I mean? And you're like, no, I don't. I'm like, fuck. God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to serve you. Bye, Patapon.
Talk about that original.